Sometimes you simply have to put it in your mouth.
It's the only way to know. I do have an oral fixation in the
how big
Freudian
it
sense.
is. Yes, same. I'm
You always
also
need to be
gay.
chewing something, eating something, sipping
Always
on
have to be
something.
gnawing.
Well, Ben, you
like
had
a raccoon.
you had that exciting fidget spinner for a while that you would bring to movies that had like a flip to switch or a switch to
I
flip, a
know.
wheel to
Is it
turn.
the cube
That
with
was
the
really
different options?
fun.
To caress.
But
I
unfortunately,
remember that fidget spinner.
it was junk, so it didn't last long because I'm like a bull in a china shop with physical matter.
You were
mashed
like
it into
John
dust.
John Goodman with Pete the horny
Oh,
toad.
I squished it like the frog, like
And
the
then
toad.
you threw it against a tree.
When he
'cause it was giving you warts.
throws the frog, I'm like, that was a
And
bit too far. You
it
didn't need to
bounces.
also chuck it against a tree.
That's
It
a
goes
core
boing.
childhood memory, watching that scene in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, being
So this-
more disturbed by that than anything that precedes it. Certainly things that happen after it.
I don't
But
know
it
why
is
when I
shocking.
picked this that both of you also hadn't seen it before. Like, I don't know why I thought that.
I'm so happy you chose it because I hadn't watched it in a really long time. And I thought I had rewatched
Was it like a high school viewing?
It was like
I watched it when
elementary
it came
school,
out.
junior high. Yeah, it was a
Mm.
massive
I
phenomenon.
didn't see it in theaters.
When it came
but
out in the year
I saw
2000?
it. I saw it at a quick blockbuster rental, like the day it
You
came
know what?
out type of vibe.
It's
No, I guess we
impossible to
were-
overstate
Brandon, the
the cultural
soundtrack won
relevance.
album of the year.
It won album of the year at the
That
Grammy
is right.
Awards.
That is right. It was
And-
in the culture.
And
I don't know
D.A.
why I
Pennebaker
skipped it.
shot a documentary about the concert tour of
Who did?
the soundtrack. D.A. Pennebaker.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a
I
massive
mean, the
deal.
soundtrack is incredible.
It
fucking
is.
I've
love
probably
the Soggy Bottom
spent
Boys.
I've probably spent, no joke, at least 20 hours in my life growing up in the car driving from Ohio to Georgia, where my grandparents live, with that record on.
I thought you said
the
throwing
speakers.
up.
I was,
confused for a
and I
second.
would throw it up every time it came on because it
Soggy Bottom Boys.
stirred my soul too
And it
aggressively.
changed the sound of contemporary country music
No
towards
question.
bluegrass, inspiring my favorite Dixie Chicks the Chicks album, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, Home.
Yes.
Their third album.
Interesting.
And then, of
It
course,
had
Taking
that
the Long
much of a
Way wins
cultural
album of
impact.
the year. Oh, I would argue that all of like stomp clap folk, like indie folk music,
Came
all
from
of
Oh
that
Brother.
comes from Oh Brother, like Mumford and
That's
Sons.
fascinating.
And I'm not saying that they're the same sound. I'm literally
No.
wearing a Fleet Foxes
But-
shirt.
But,
but
yeah, that
Fleet
category
I
was
Edward
early
Sharp
2000s.
This sort of like revivalist, like embracing of Americana and folk, and particularly, as Ben was saying, bluegrass, like Appalachian music,
Yeah.
which, funny enough,
And those
parts
bands
of the
were
soundtrack
popular
don't
in the
suit-
early aughts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
for sure. I thought we were going to get into this later when we talked about
Because
the
they're in
picture, but
Mississippi.
it's-
They're
Yeah,
not
they're in Mississippi.
Appalachia.
Exactly, but some of the bluegrass, I would say, is maybe more at home there, which is why it's
Okay.
a bad movie, and an inaccurate
right.
one, and
Yeah,
true.
why it shouldn't be discussed.
I don't like it.
Throw it out.
I feel the same way about the
T-Bone
type of
Burnett,
boat.
go to the Hague.
T-bone, more like T-boner. But I feel the same way about the ships in the Odyssey, of course. I feel the same way about the casting in the Odyssey. I find that these things
Same.
are so historically inaccurate that it becomes a sort of barrier.
Throw it
to
in the
entry.
sea.
Yes, in the whirlpool. I saw a great piece of AI slop on the internet about
Fantastic.
the whirlpool in the Odyssey. It was
Is
like
it a clip of the whirlpool?
it was an AI rendering of the whirlpool, which was being shown in IMAX, and it was like, I see this all the time. I saw this with Avatar: Fire and Ash, where there's these videos going around Instagram of people in the Sphere or in IMAX watching these large scale
but
movies.
it's fake.
And it not only is it fake, like, because these movies never played the Sphere, for instance. Obviously, they played IMAX.
Right.
Would love
But what's
Avatar in
on the
Sphere.
screen isn't Avatar, and it's also
Right.
not the Odyssey. And then I always want to go to the comments, and
Is
no
it
one's
meant-
calling it out. No
Is it
one
meant
calls it
to
out.
be believable? Is that like?
Yeah, they're like this movie has made such an impact.
I
on
love
the
that
culture.
these images and videos are crossing your desk and your algorithm. Congrats.
My algorithm is fuck.
Are the comments like
My-
other bots being like, wow, this is incredible. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, there's
I
never any
love
comments.
this.
There's never any comments that like have my sense of righteous indignation about like, well, the Avatar movies haven't played in the sphere. So that literally never
I would
happened.
know.
I
Because
would
I
know.
would be seated.
Oh, my ass would be seated. I would pay. They charge like $100 to watch AI Wizard of Oz in the Sphere. I would pay upwards of that much to watch Avatar in the Sphere.
Well,
I've been
because
to
you
the
know,
Sphere.
if
It's pretty
Avatar
magnificent.
was
All
in
three
the Sphere,
movies.
Cameron would oversee how it appears in the
Yeah.
Sphere.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
for sure would happen. If he would love that, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. Well, he's basically
just-
confirmed he's going to use AI in the next Avatar movies. But even
Not
that might
surprised.
be fake shit that got popping. That popped up on my Instagram. Who's to
I mean,
say?
he just has said he doesn't intend for anyone to lose jobs over it, but like
Right.
he has the power to do that on his movies. He's just like, so it'll take 1,000 people half of the time to make
Right.
Avatar 4.
He's
his
just trying to
idea.
give us
Gonna go-
Avatar 4 faster, baby.
I hope he increases their hourly wage.
We'll see
What
about
was
that.
I thinking of? Oh, I was going to make a joke about Stop That Train, but who cares?
Watch that movie.
Well, your
Should I
log was
watch it?
perfect, Brandon, which was like, it's not funny. What do you say? It's not dumb or funny enough.
It's not
for
stupid
Mm.
enough,
Yeah.
and it's not funny enough. I thought Scary Movie 6 was a better movie.
which I still intend to see, but haven't gotten
Scary
around to
Movie
that yet.
6 has a lot of throwaway shit, but it has a lot of gags that work.
I'm trying to crack up. That's what I'm
And
doing
I was
in the movies
cracking
for
up.
right now.
I
trying
think
to
I
crack
cracked up at Stop That Train twice.
I cracked up.
I just
at-
mostly watched it like this.
I think I saw
Fair
that
enough.
at the end of like a really long work week, and I went to like a late screening on the weekend, and I was like primed.
You were ready to crack
I
up?
was
Yeah.
primed and ready to crack up.
You didn't
And I
crack
cracked
up.
up a little bit at the beginning, and then I realized like, oh no, it's not getting any better than this.
Because it's almost
Right.
doing like a Some Like It Hot. Almost.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't do anything.
I don't think
In
this
my
is a
opinion.
hot take, but RuPaul is giving the best performance in the movie.
No, absolutely.
when
I wish
she's on
she was in it
screen,
more.
When she's on, but she would never give up her time like
I mean,
that.
RuPaul is a real star.
No, and
Yes.
that's really one of the issues with it is every
Yeah.
time she's on screen, it kicks into a different comic register that is funny,
Yes.
and I am laughing.
Yes.
And then we go back to
Like whenever RuPaul
others.
comes across my algorithm, I'm watching the clip and I'm probably gonna laugh.
We're
I
totally
watched-
cracking up.
It's the
I watched
dumbest shit, but you know.
the parallel parking video from years ago. That someone
there's
posted
no
it again, and
denying
it was
she's a
doing
talent.
numbers. I had to watch
Mhm.
it.
You have
She's a
to see it.
fracker. She's a fracker.
Did
I
you
will
know
make a time
Jake
code nonetheless.
Shane's father wrote Smart House, the Disney Channel original film?
I
So
did
he's a
know.
Nepo.
I did know that. Yeah.
I knew that he was vaguely a Nepo, but I didn't know how. But he said it on his podcast. The guest asked, "What do your parents do?"
Well, don't forget, this podcast has beef with that podcast. We started a fight like last month or at some
We
point.
did.
Remember, we threw some
He's not a
punches?
journalist.
He's
Yeah,
not
and
a
I think-
journalist.
I think it speaks to the power and influence of this podcast that he hasn't replied because
That's right.
he's too. The only explanation is he's heard it and is too
The
scared. to
only
engage.
thing
It's
that's
the only
crossed-
explanation.
The only thing that's crossed my desk regarding him is his men's health thing.
that
yeah,
also
Like I
came
just see
across my
him
desk.
hanging from a pull-up bar,
hanging from the pull-up bar. That was
and
really
I'm
funny.
like, I didn't ask to see this.
Everybody's doing gym.
I still
Everybody's
would,
doing
though.
gym.
I was,
just
and I stopped because
Lest
I
anyone think that I'm just jealous that he's
Oh.
getting ripped, I would.
I would.
But he's
I'm not
still
saying I
annoying.
wouldn't. He's what?
Exactly. He's still annoying.
Yes, but he's hot.
It's not.
We're not
I
saying
don't
he's
have a
not
problem
hot.
with the physical appearance. That's not the issue here.
I kind of
Got a
resent
Diet
him.
Coke, and I'm holding my Burt's Bees chapstick like a cigarette in my
And you look
finger.
cool.
I-
You've got your
I
fridge
didn't
cigarette
know.
and your
Cool.
lip cigarette.
Mhm.
Mm.
But yeah, fridge sig. That
Yummy,
was a funny
yummy,
one.
yummy, yummy.
Yeah, I mostly hold resentment in my heart towards him because I was listening to Golden Hour the other day. Which, by the way, did we all catch that Mom Donnie's a big fan of Golden Hour?
I'm
No.
aware. Yes.
Fantastic.
When he's
He's
in an
listening,
when he's in an
listening and
introspective mood, he's still listening to Golden Hour. But when the line about in Tennessee the sun's going down, but in Beijing they're headed out to work,
Yeah.
this guy's weaseled in my brain now.
Yeah.
Almost
What
10
did you
years
mean
after
by
the
that?
record. By the way,
What is it exactly that we're looking at here?
Another
he
record
wanted
that
to know.
won Album of the Year.
Album of the year. That's right. How many
Yeah,
can
album
we
of the year.
name
Well,
in
obviously, we're going to be invoking
podcast?
Orpheus
Harry's
later,
house.
which was a theme in. Yeah, how are we going to get Harry's house into the conversation?
Well, we
Ray-
just did.
We
I'll
almost
just say
had
it.
Harryhausen if we had done Jason from the Argonauts.
Coming up.
Sure.
I've got one. So Orpheus Orpheus and Eurydice is a theme in Arcade Fire's follow-up to their Album of the Year winning record, The Suburbs, in Reflector. So that's
I like
5.
Reflector.
I also like Reflector.
You know what
I
else
don't know
I
what
like?
I ever listened to.
I like their one after that nobody likes.
That was kind of was that everything now?
Yes.
That was nothing to me. It was not everything to me, but I saw that tour at the Forum and it was pretty cool. I kind of found that album spiritually upsetting because it revealed a surface level thematic engagement IMO, which betrayed the deep feelings I had listening to like Neighborhoods #1 and 2
Sure.
and 3 when I was a kid. And it's like realizing that my philosopher heroes are maybe not that deep. Those, I mean, Arcade
Nobody
Fire's a
likes
band
their new stuff now.
Well, I can't engage with them anymore because it turned out that Win Butler was a creep. But
Right. And his most recent album, which I listened to, unfortunately, there are like explicit lyrics about him being a creep.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that.
Awesome.
But I
My
won't.
hot
I'm
take
not,
is that
Really great.
I always thought The Suburbs was overrated.
I don't agree. But
What did
most people
you
don't.
want to win that year? Because it was
I
a
don't
big shot.
remember.
I was looking at the
I
nominees
don't
today.
remember
big
what
shot.
those nominees were.
Let's
but
pull it up. I
just
remember
I just thought it was no Neon Bible to me.
that's a
Fair.
take.
Fair.
I love
That's how
Neon
I
Bible,
feel.
but like that's a perfect record. IMO. So I'm with you. But that
I should listen
is-
to it now as more of an adult. The
That was
Suburbs,
typical-
and see how I feel.
that was the record that everybody was like at the time, like, well, obviously Neon Bible is the lesser of the 3 albums. And I'm not sure I'd even rank them. I think I'd hold them in equal esteem. So
Is
other
film Neon
so-
Bible named after the album?
Well, I think Davies got to it first, but I've often
I'm just
wondered.
kidding.
I've often wondered if there is a link. Okay, so
Is
I
there a
was looking
link?
at this earlier today because I was looking up the nominees for the Oh Brother soundtrack winning album of the year.
Mm.
Brandon, I too remember The Suburbs winning as a massive shock. I remember
It was a
just
cultural moment.
to really date how long ago this was. I remember the headline on the Huffington Post.
Wow.
Arcade Fire stuns and then Grammy's upset. But let me read to you the 5 nominees. There's one.
Who would we vote
Let's
for?
hear it.
So I think I know who everyone here might say is this other option, but my point is, let me just read them. So obviously the winner is The Suburbs by Arcade Fire. Then we have Recovery by Eminem. We have Need You
Okay.
Now by Lady Antebellum, who, by the way, should consider changing their name in the same way the Dixie Chicks changed their
They
name.
did, Lady
Who would
A.
think? Oh, that's
They
right there,
did?
Lady A.
Well, that was smart. Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. What an alternate universe that Katy Perry is nominated for Album of the Year. And The Fame Monster by Lady Gaga.
Right.
Her best
right.
album.
Yeah, so I
would be voting for The Fame Monster.
guess I'm voting for The Fame Monster too, even though The Suburbs, those were both huge records for me that year.
I
I'm not
don't
gonna
mind
pretend
Kind of a
Arcade
weird
Fire
lineup.
having an album of the year win.
No,
It doesn't-
sure. However,
it's not problematic
well,
to me.
How in the running was Lady Gaga? Like,
That's what I
do
wanna
we
know.
think? I bet she was like,
I
nah.
mean, with the Grammys, you never know. Eminem might have been the runner-up for
Right.
Recovery,
Right.
but yeah, I
I
don't know.
bet Lady Antebellum was in the mix.
Probably.
That's like
Which,
the
like,
vibe
I'm
of a lot
fine
of those voters.
Arcade Fire won.
If
Right.
Arcade Fire had not won for The Suburbs, would they have taken as big of a swing as Reflector, though, is the question. Because that was considered them cashing in on a lot of political capital, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
And I thought Recovery rocked because I was looking at the screen. No, I thought
Same.
Reflector rocked.
Reflector, controversial, might be my favorite of theirs only because that's the one I've listened to most.
Well,
like,
people
by
were
default.
pissed. People were pissed because you could shake your ass to it.
I was shaking my ass.
It was
And
dance
I'm
music.
biased because of the Andrew Garfield video.
Classic.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Totally
I
classic.
was clocked out by that point, I guess, on Arcade Fire. I
He's
have no
like dressed
memory of
as a
any of this.
woman
Great.
in some song. I forget the name of the
Great.
song.
Ben was still locked in on Recovery.
He's like, I'm
By
listening to
Eminem.
Eminem.
I
I
guess
was super Eminem in the early 2000s, but then I didn't keep up with him.
I think
I'll
I liked
say.
one song of his.
I think I was into there was back when I ran, there was some Eminem track I loved.
I could
And it
absolutely
wasn't a
sing
classic, it was from a
you
new
the
album.
Marshall
Wait.
Mathers LP from start to finish.
Do it.
If someone put it on and I jogged my memory for a minute, notice because I'm not going to put it on myself, but if someone put it on, I would be able to sing along.
Me sneaking into your home, putting it on.
Hey, real quick, all this shit talking on Recovery. This record had Not Afraid. This record had Love the Way You Lie.
That's right.
There were some big hits on this.
It was
Love
probably
the
his
Way You Lie
biggest one.
is a hot song.
That's a good track.
Isn't that song better known for like being a Rihanna song though?
Yes, that's a fair point.
I mean, she just
We're
sings
inching up
the
to the end of
chorus, which
my
is the
music.
chorus.
The only good part.
Okay,
I can't
so that's
tell you how it really is. I can only tell you what it feels like.
that's the
I believe
53rd.
the first line of the song.
Beautiful.
Meaningful.
Should we move on to the 54th annual Grammy Awards? Should we do a couple
Yeah.
more
No.
of these? No, we'll
When
come back.
Beck-
I'm gonna leave the tab open for when we
Yeah,
get to
what was the
Brother.
year
When-
Beck blew everyone's mind? Who's Beck?
When Beck, that's what I'm trying to get to. When Beck
That was a
beat
classic.
Beyonce self-titled, and some gay guy was legitimately just like losing his mind on Twitter.com, like, who's Beck? Had never heard of Beck, was having a total meltdown.
Where is
Literally, who's Beck?
Who's Beck?
I have a fun Beck story, which is that I just a couple of weeks ago went to see the LA Philharmonic and special guests play the music of the films of Wes Anderson at the
Of
Hollywood
Beck.
Bowl. And Beck was there, and Jenny Lewis was there,
Featuring
and Jackson
Beck.
Brown was there,
Jenny
Bill Murray
Lewis.
was there.
Bill Murray.
It was the greatest use of $15 that I had spent in quite some time.
That was $15.
wonderful.
Yes,
What a
Yes.
steal!
I know,
It
because
is
it
a
was an
steal.
LA Phil show, and in the summertime, if you sit in the back, the cheapest tickets are $15, but you can move down into the $25 section pretty easily. I brought cheese,
a hot
crackers,
tip of the
turkey.
LA Phil.
I was
Is
chilling.
this at
the
bowl?
bowl? This
At the
was where
bowl?
they did like the mobile Criterion Closet and like a Wes Anderson themed
That's right.
activation, which I would have loved to have seen.
I
but
forgot
the line
that
was
that-
simply too long.
How fantastic!
Was what you were
Mr.
referring
Fox.
to.
It was a
Because I
very special
remember
evening.
when that happened.
It was really fun.
Well,
why
who are
can't I
we? What are we? Are we not ready?
I don't even know where to start on that one.
Before Daniel
Um,
pulls up the next Grammy awards,
I've already pulled them
can
up.
someone introduce us?
I've already
Hurry!
pulled them up, and I can't. Oh, it's my week to start, so I have to do it.
Oh shit!
I can't find the Beck year. What's wrong with me?
It's fine.
It would have been, you know,
that's fine.
2013,
That's fine.
14.
That's okay. Don't
I
worry
know,
about it.
and it's not showing up.
Close the browser.
I think it would have been the Grammy
Oh, right.
ceremony.
It was
on the browser.
2015. It was 2015.
Because I was in New York City.
I remember I had
I
a
was
good
in-
joke when that won. I was talking with some people and they were like, "Oh, I mean, I love Beck, but over Beyonce." And I was like, "Yeah, Morning Phase was a great album. I do love Beck. I think he's hot. I wouldn't mind being his evening phase, if you know what I mean." Tap, tap, tap,
Nice.
tap, 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 tap. His evening phase.
Nice.
Great
Okay.
work.
Thank you. Pause
Nice.
we're going to pause for laughter. Everyone listening is probably just cracking up.
They are having
Yeah,
a
they're
laugh.
just cracking
Let's
up.
hold for laughter.
Let's hold for. Can we hold for crack up, please? Can we instead of? It's like holding for room tone, but you're holding for crack up. I am going to get my last tab set for our conversation. Okay, I can go now. Welcome.
What do you need tabs for this
He's
conversation?
doing deep
Cat-
research.
No. To have like character names,
Oh,
cast
sure.
list
Deep
available,
Deep research.
and
Fair
that's what I
enough.
need. And that's what I need tabs for. Thank you very much.
I
Um,
just
I
don't. I just
apologize for the accusation.
Well,
I just
I mean,
don't know the names of
I
characters.
accept
and keep
it.
it that way.
I have to do an intense amount of writing down and tab opening in order to recall information on this podcast. I'm not
Yeah,
good at remembering information without an intense
I get
amount of
it.
preparation.
I get
Of
it.
course, I never prepare the things I should be preparing. I said I'm just making sure that I know John Turturro's character is named Pete.
That
But
kind
now
of
I know.
is what's important, though, because
I guess.
otherwise
guess.
the thoughts were just coming off the dome.
Well, sometimes when we
I
did
guess
the
I should
facts
have
at the
that
ready.
pulled up.
I had a note in my notes when we did the Italian job, like look up Seth Green. I think I mentioned this on mic, like look up Seth Green's 2001 through 2005. And I never did. And that could have been useful context for the pod cast. So
Perhaps so.
we're good?
Podcast.
Shall
Yes.
I take us in?
Yes.
Take us in. Roger Ebert didn't like Oh Brother, sorry.
I think he gave
in.
it 2.5 and was like, it's a fun
He did.
collection of scenes. I was left cold by the picture.
Lovely short films, he calls
Which
it.
is kind of how I remembered my impression. Welcome to another episode of
Dracula?
Movies IMO. No, of You Must Remember This. Welcome.
Oh, I thought you were Morgana of
Oh,
Camelot.
no. But Morgana is
Cunt.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
and quite
She's
snatched. She's quite snatched. The phrase is self-evident; it speaks for itself. But good work, because that's stuff.
She's kind.
Okay,
Okay,
so
push up the sleeve ever so slightly for the visual.
well, yeah, we can.
The
Actually, we can-
visualizers. We
Cunt.
have a
There it is.
we have a
anyway.
Clint cover turned cunt.
And that'll be the new "Okay, shut up." That'll start every episode. We'll just clip Brandon right there.
The word cunt. Every
okay.
time, a supercut of all of us saying.
It's like, and then we'll get sued because obviously this podcast is too big. We'll get noticed, but we could cut in the cunty from Renaissance.
Perfect.
Speaking of Beyonce, so welcome to another episode of
Dracula?
Movies IMO. Brandon, don't test me. Don't fuck with me, fellas. I mean, my brain's already melting because that's a Joan Crawford that I did as anyway,
Dracula?
as
Dracula.
This is another
As
episode of
werewolf?
Dracula. This is another episode of Dracula, also
Don't get
known
me
in some
started
quarters
on
as Movies
werewolf.
IMO. We are a podcast that was once dead, and now we're alive. And every week we are
Sorry.
just like Dracula.
Literally just like Dracula.
God, it's good to crack up. We okay, I'm not gonna be able to be too. I was trying to think of other Dracula comparisons to make, but we
let it
are.
go.
I'm letting it go. We do occasionally manifest as a boat full of rats, like Dracula, but most of the time we are three gay guys here on the mic talking about largely movies. We're focusing on a different theme every week that one of us is bringing to the table, and we each bring a movie that corresponds with the theme. And spoiler alert, we're doing something different next week too. So this really is just turning
the format
into
has changed again.
but it hasn't yet, but it will in about 4.5 hours time. And that's great. I've
love the
often
format
said I've
switch.
often said like the genius format here is no format at all. It's the most creative.
We're having fun. That's
we're just cracking up. We're just
That's the format.
The theme is what will make us crack up.
That's right, baby.
And this week we wanted to obviously tie into the release of live action Moana with an episode that is on the theme of mythology in films. So we each brought a title to the table. I brought John Boorman's 1981 Excalibur. Brandon?
I brought the Coens brothers' Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
And I brought Jean Cocteau's Orpheus, which I'm saying in English. Because
Orphe. It's
Orphe.
Orphe!
I'm doing French Duolingo right now, but the R is really hard for me. It's really difficult.
Give it a go.
Wait, you mean like in a word starts with R?
Any R in any word, any placement.
Is it really
very
rolled
difficult for
or
me.
If it ends in an ER, you don't have to say the R.
Period.
Right.
I think.
But
it's been a minute.
It's just like it's a very soft R. Orphe.
Oh.
And it always turns into
the
a
tongue
W.
catches.
Orphe.
Yeah.
Boof.
That was very New Jersey. Orphe.
Get some
Orphe!
Get some ragout, some gabagool, and some Orphe. Wrap it all up, and you got a sandwich picture. You got a
I like to
picture
wrap me up
sandwich.
some Orphe.
I would like to wrap me up some Orphe because Orphe is
To wrap up
hot.
those biker death sidekicks.
The biker, yeah.
That was giving
Thomas
the leather
Finley.
gay. Thank you.
You know who I'm questioning on is LTBs. I love LTBs. LTBs. Should we just say different names in French? Yeah.
Yes.
I will say the Eurydice pronunciation did trip me up a bit. Eurydice. What else we got? We got
we are just listing the names.
No, we're just listing the names. And this is why I have tabs.
I was like, what else do we got? We said all three movies.
Okay, I'm so happy that I have my tab open because
what's the twink named? Like Sages or something?
It is something like that.
I like the twink.
It is Sagest.
Sages.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say about the twink.
As in I Sagest, we talk about the twink.
movie's gay as
it's extremely gay, is made by gay, and
it's
features gay themes.
His gay.
Yes.
He cast two of his gays.
There's always LTBs. But can I
himself as an old lady in the background of hell.
Which
was him?
So cunt.
Yeah.
It's fierce. I got a cough.
Quite cunt.
Okay, I want to
forgotten what order we are talking about our films.
I've forgotten to. We can. I think we were going to do Excalibur first, so we can switch gears here. But I did just want to call out while we're talking about names in Orpheus that I almost choked on my coffee when one of the actors' names came up in the opening credits because I think it goes so hard, which is Renee Worms. Renee Worms.
There's got to be a French twist on worms.
Renee Worms.
Renee Worms.
Renee Worms.
Me when I'm Renee Worms.
Jean Cocteau
Renee
sounds
Worms.
like this when he does the voiceover. I love the way that the French voiceover voice. I've done this on this podcast before.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very.
Imagine the
pleasing
cast of Oh Brother doing Orphe.
Orphe.
Mm-hmm.
So I can.
Orpheus.
So Holly Hunter would have more to do if she was Eurydice.
If she was Eurydice or Death.
I mean, as Death, I do love that idea. Death is looking quite snatched. Death is serving face. Serving Death, of course. Serving Little Death,
Roger Ebert thought she's kind of bland.
Yes, he did. I thought that was
Ebert's got
very
a lot to
interesting.
say this week.
He's like, the movie's not perfect, and here's why. The actress playing Death sucks.
Ebert has a lot to say this week from the grave.
Oh my God.
Like Dracula.
Just like Dracula.
Should we just start with Orpheus? We're already talking about it.
Sure.
Yeah, we're already in it. Should I give it a plot?
Yes.
Jean Cocteau
Does that make any no?
takes the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice to modern day Paris, and Orpheus is a famed poet, famed to the point that everyone knows who he is. Level of fame.
Imagine.
And he has been
Taylor Swift.
Yes. He has been rejected by the left bank intellectuals because he is old as fuck. He's like 35 in the film.
I believe he says, "In fact, they hate me."
In fact, they hate me.
Wow, he's
great
ancient.
line. And at the Poets Cafe,
the Twinkle.
Brawl.
the new twink poet. He's 20. He's blonde and everyone loves him. He's a genius. He is killed
Bound
in
for the radio.
The brawl that ensues at the Poets Cafe. He's killed.
Happens every day.
Another twink down at the Poets Cafe. Not again.
Not another brawl at the Poets Cafe.
Why do they keep brawling?
It reminded me of the brawl in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yes.
I was
It's
like, what does
giving
this
that.
remind me of?
The twink is already with death, arrives in her Rolls Royce. She's a princess. And it appears that the
You
princess
sound like
has
Julie Andrews in the Princess Diaries, by the way.
princess.
She's a princess.
Princess of
I
the
do
underworld.
always accentuate the second syllable in princess. I don't know why.
As you should.
Because you're gay.
That's right. And when the twink poet dies, the princess says to Orpheus, "Come with us. I'm taking the body." She's like, "I'm
Hop in."
Right.
I'm getting out of here, and I want you to come with me." First gay moment of the film. Orpheus does not first go to the underworld for his wife. He goes for the twink. All right?
And
Let's
for the
talk
diva.
about that.
And
Let's
for the
talk
diva.
about it. And for his princess.
We're talking about it.
We're talking about it.
Who he's performing gay idol worship towards.
Mm-hmm.
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 He doesn't really care about Eurydice.
Not even a little bit. At no point does
When
he
he
seem to
can't-
be in love with Eurydice.
When he can't turn around to see her, he's so irritated. He's like, ugh, this bitch again.
In the Criterion booklet,
Mm-hmm.
There's
Again,
a
the French
little-
pronunciation, just so good.
thank you. Those were just
Thank you.
English words with a French accent.
Fooled me. Fooled me.
There's, I forget if this was in the essay or there's also an interview from Cocteau himself that that scene, the section where they return to Earth and he can't look at her is meant to be comic and is meant to be like when a man has fallen out of love with his wife and he's just like disgusted with every action
It really
she
gives
takes.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very
Well,
successful in that
Another
goal.
another gay thing. I thought that Cocteau was getting at how heterosexual marriage is a prison, and in many ways worse than the underworld.
Yes.
I
He's
love
gotta
that
go
reading.
back. They have to go back.
He has to go
Had
back.
to go back.
The wife starts tricking him to look at her. Eurydice.
She's like, I don't want to be here.
She wants to be
She
with
shows up in the back of
Eltevize.
his car so that he looks in the mirror at her.
And then when she just poofs away,
She poofs away. She
She's
returns
gone.
to the underworld.
bye.
It's like
So-
that. It's like that video when Midnight's came out, and it was like Lana on the Taylor track, and they just had her like
Yeah.
appear for like 1 second
Yes.
and disappear.
Mhm.
It's giving that.
Yeah. So what happens in the actual myth is that Eurydice dies, and Orpheus is a singer, poet, who goes to the underworld and sings for Hades, and is the poetry is so beautiful that they let Eurydice go, but he can't look at her until they
Pens
reach
across the board.
human Earth again. And he looks at her because he loves her so much. He can't not look at her. And she's
Allegedly,
This version, he's tricked into looking at her.
and he's annoyed about it. And he's annoyed
like,
about
God
it.
damn it, get away.
He's trying to scribe his poetry that is being read to him by
By a radio.
Over the
in
radio.
the afterlife over the car radio. He's more
is-
concerned with
He's busy.
nice.
This is really a film about artistic inspiration in a
Mhm.
way.
Mhm.
And he is desperate for it. He's an old ass man who cannot
35.
connect with the poets. But Jean Cocteau himself was 60 when this movie was made. So
Really?
if he is feeling like the left bank is rejecting him, he's actually an old ass man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is also important to note that Jean Marais, the lead, Orpheus, had been in a long-term relationship with Jean Cocteau.
What a face, by the way.
And everyone in France knew it. Like anyone seeing this movie in France in 1950 was aware that, and probably was aware that he had just left him for the actor who plays the twink.
It's like casting Nathan Lane and Margot Robbie for a contemporary audience.
I
the
did
gay
not
Nathan Lane and
know
Margot
that
Robbie?
wrinkle.
I'm saying imagine Nathan Lane and Margot Robbie as Orpheus and Eurydice. The way that you would watch that as an audience member, you'd be like, "Oh, he's not interested in her."
Right.
That's the point I'm making.
Yes. I thought you were trying to say that those were the same person's ex, or like
No,
they
Me
were
too.
linked
I was
by a
like,
lover. And I
they
was like,
no.
fuck?
who do they
I
have
was just
in
thinking.
common?
I was thinking how fun it must have been for an audience
To see
watching
an
it.
obviously gay man.
Yeah, with a gorgeous woman, and be like,
See,
"Well,
what
there's a
you were
reason
trying to
he's
say
not
would be like
interested."
saying it would be as if Brad Pitt cast Angelina Jolie and Jennifer Aniston in the same movie.
Sure.
No, but
That's-
that'd be interesting. But now I want to
that's
know
like the
whose
same thing
exes are Nathan Lane and Margot Robbie.
Yeah. If you know someone who has dated both
of
Nathan
them.
Lane
If
and
we
Margot
can get a
Robbie,
list,
please
please
email
leave
us.
us a review on iTunes.
Tell us.
We should get a list of every bisexual producer in Hollywood and in New York,
Mhm.
and we can
Yeah,
we
baby.
can narrow this thing down.
Yeah. So I feel like the plot is really hard to explain. Because
I think you did it.
But I feel like whatever we talk about, we're gonna have to explain a lot of context, but it's fine. So let's just talk about how special the special effects are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
I have a question.
It's the one thing we
marvelous.
have to
Because
talk about.
I overrate the film because
Because of those
how
effects.
good the effects
And that's
are.
fair. That they're astonishing, and I think marvelous is the perfect word for it because it is that idea of a practical effect being practical magic on screen. It is a marvel
Yeah.
to behold. It is the gloves. I mean, there's
Well,
10 things to talk about.
I have a
but
question
the
about
gloves
the
are just
gloves.
extraordinary.
Mhm.
I know the gloves are like an interesting point in the movie, but were they forced to also in filming use the gloves because they were putting their hands in whatever
To Mercury, yes.
Well, that's
right to
Could
do
be.
the
Could be.
optical illusion
I
of
do wonder what came first, but I also am like, did they know about that in 1950 that you shouldn't touch Mercury?
It wasn't. It was less than 20 years, or it was only like 11 years after The Wizard of Oz, when they painted that poor man with copper or with silver or whatever.
Right. So maybe they
And of
didn't
course,
know, and the gloves were strictly plot. But
A contemporary
aesthetic.
audience,
Right.
a contemporary audience, knowing that the film is made by a gay filmmaker and a gay man is putting on the gloves, knows that the gloves also carry dual meaning.
right.
Fisting.
So Jean Cocteau
They did look
was,
like fisting gloves.
Yeah,
They did. There's
They were
a lot
very.
of
they were
fetishistic
they were Jean
imagery.
Cocteau's own
Oh,
fisting
plenty.
gloves.
Oh,
There
he
they
brought
were.
his gloves from the boudoir.
Mhm.
That's right. He was not just a
And that's how
filmmaker, but a poet, a noted surrealist, a painter, a sculptor. But so what was I saying with that? Where was I going? Oh, the imagery in the film comes from a very surrealist place, and they are like intentionally crude. Like they could have done more. They could have gone for verisimilitude more with how they accomplish. There's a David Lynch line about like special effects are eerier when they are cruder,
Mhm.
and
That's right.
that they like
And he would
get
subscribe to that.
inside your soul more.
Yeah.
And I would
Yeah.
say Cocteau is doing that exact thing here with the first time they're driving to the underworld. Suddenly the image outside is the negative, not
Mhm.
the positive. The trees are white.
First of all, let me just say
Yes.
that's going to make a great clip for Instagram.com because excellent point, Ben, and very, very well said.
Wow.
Thank you.
Did you just say
But
that so it's clipped, Ben?
But coming off of what Ben was just saying about the photo negative outside the
Mhm.
car. So I was watching this in an airport, not under the most optimal
intended
quality.
the way it was supposed to
I
be
did
seen.
clean my
Mhm.
I did clean my screen, and I found like an area that I wasn't getting a lot of glare.
Without a
so I was
glare, yeah.
right, so I
Watching
was
your
able to-
reflection, watch the film.
right. Just honor the man, honor the film, honor the
Right.
screen, honor the
That's right.
reflection, honor the film. I had to rewind for that bit in the car with the exterior all around them
Did
being
you
the
think
photo
something
negative.
got messed up?
I thought that there was a problem with my light bleed I was working so hard to get rid of.
Mm.
And then I rewound it, and I got the great pleasure of getting to watch it again. It's
The first
quite stunning.
The first time the death diva brings the twink back up, and you realize,
Right.
oh, he's doing reverse photography, and then he does that
Several times
throughout the
throughout.
movie. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, well then.
And
That's
they're
when I was like,
frequently
buckle up.
going
That's when I was
through-
leaning forward.
through a mirror in the Orpheus and Eurydice's bedroom where there's just a mirror image reverse of the bedroom built on the other side, and
Mhm.
body doubles are used so that they can cross through.
Yes.
This is also used in the underworld when we are at the judges' table, and when
Mm.
Orpheus joins leaves the zone to come into that room.
Mhm.
We see the establishing shot there is the reflection of the judges in the mirror, and then Orpheus walks through it. But of course, that means that the judges were just 10 feet behind the mirror, and they
Right.
shot hopefully the listener knows what I've just I'm not going to say it any better than that. But I also rewound that,
Watch
but
the film.
just for the pure pleasure of watching Orpheus jump through the mirror. I couldn't believe what I was watching, because why would I think at the beginning of that shot, before you see Orpheus leap through the mirror, that it would have been staged and shot in that way?
I love when
Right.
they're
It's
crawling
marvelous.
through
It's a nice surprise.
the zone
Mhm.
at the last time they arrive in the zone, and they have to
Yes.
crawl on the walls,
Right.
and they slide horizontally.
Yes.
They're
Like
very Inception vibes.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the
That's what I-
room
that was the
that
exact
turns.
thing I
thought.
Something like that is going on.
I'm
Mhm.
sure you guys could say, maybe I'm just stupid, but I don't know how they did that shot. When they're crawling along the side, and then when they
Right.
turn the corner, they go flying down the other side of the wall.
I
don't
know that
how
there
they
is
did
something
it.
about a moving platform, but I don't
But it
know
must have been glass
the
or
exact
something.
logistics. Yeah, I don't know.
Me being stupid, it must have been glass or something.
But it's just like,
No, it truly is like, I don't know how they did that.
it reminded me of Tarkovsky as well. Everything in the zone.
well, the zone
it's a little more
is what it's
whimsical
called
than that.
in Stalker.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I wondered if that is pulled directly
it-
from this.
It must be. It must be. And I could have spent so much more time in the zone, which is not a
Mhm.
critique. It's you leave them wanting more, as Jean Cocteau
You're really not in the zone
famously
for a very long
coined.
time.
Yeah.
Mostly,
Although
you're in
Cocteau was in the zone
the
while
house.
he was making this movie.
You're just in
Yes.
Orpheus' house.
Mhm.
Or
While
in
we're
the
still
car.
talking about the zone,
Mhm.
how incredible is the illusion of LTB's just floating down the zone while Orpheus
Mhm.
is walking behind him? That,
yeah.
I believe, was shot like Tom Cruise walking through New York and Eyes
Yeah.
Wide Shut. But LTB's is just standing still against a rear projection of
Yes.
a moving shot of Orpheus walking down. And
And there's only wind on
It's called-
Airbnbs.
it's
Yep.
called filmmaking.
That's right.
That's
It's called
maybe-
filmmaking.
That's filmmaking.
And I'm not
Don't
trying to
they
move
use
this to
the
the next
same
film,
shot,
but Boorman
that
does
same-
some stuff like this too.
That same shot, don't they move? Also, you see them doing that backwards, right?
Yes. Yeah, you see it again.
And that same stick twink walks by. What does he say?
Mhm.
Garda.
He says, what do they say in Twin Peaks? I'm not gonna be able to say it. Like the nonsense words in Twin Peaks. It reminded me of that. But also, I love that Sagest the twink is now wearing overalls and no shirt underneath. And that,
You know, that's
I'd like
what
to
I would
see it.
wear.
when in the zone, you know.
Win in the zone. That's what you put on.
Daniel, do you know who Cocteau wanted to cast as Death?
Yeah.
Jean Moreau.
And the only reason I don't direct that at Brandon
Was
is
that
because
right?
Brandon read Roger Ebert's.
I know the
Oh.
answer already.
Was it Jean Moreau? Was it?
There were two actresses that he considered who are Hollywood icons, neither of whom are from the United States.
And
Was it
that's
Marlene
why-
Dietrich?
Yes.
And was
and
it
the other one, the other lesbian.
Was it Greta Garbo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So for that
And Roger
reason,
Ebert thinks, imagine if one of them was in the role. Now
And
you've
that's-
really got
well,
something.
I mean,
that's why
he's
he thinks
not
the
wrong,
role
but
isn't that good because that's what he's picturing. That's what he's
could
wanting.
you imagine
Maria
if Greta Garbo
Caceres was
came
great.
out of retirement to play
That's
Death
what I recognized her
I
from.
mean, that would have
in
taken
Jean
it.
Cocteau's?
It would have taken it to another level.
Sorry, real quick.
would've.
I
is
completely
great.
agree.
Yeah.
But I just realized what I recognized her from, and it's Les Dames du Bois du Boulogne by, of course, Robert Bresson,
Robert Bresson.
which I watched
she was
when they were
like
doing
an
the...
emerging, great French actress at that moment.
She has sort of a vampiric quality, kind of like
Which
Dracula.
would have been absolutely perfect for that role.
I think I said which would have
That
been
diva,
absolutely
leather
like Dracula.
clad, absolutely just like Dracula.
Should we talk about the narcissism of the artist?
Yes, we should. But first,
Well,
I just want to
yes,
say on the
always.
surreal before we move on from the surrealism, some of the cutting after Orpheus has his first encounter with death in the house, and then we cut and he's like outside, like in the puddle. It reminded me of Maya Deren, and particularly of the editing structures in At Land, which predates Orpheus. And
Yeah,
so
I was thinking
I think
about
it's
Maya
I think it's
Deren as well.
not just entirely possible, but extremely likely that Cocteau would have somehow come across Darren's work, the short form work. It's been 6 years. He's very plugged in, even if he's not allowed at the left bank cafes. I wondered if At Land was. I mean,
I wonder if the
Cocteau
children
sort
were
of
throwing
is the
rotten
OG.
fruit at Cocteau. Get
Could
away
be.
from Poets
Get
Cafe.
away. Literally
Oh,
driving up to be
he was-
angry at him.
He was bourgeois.
That's also dream imagery, I think. At the end, when the poets descend upon his land.
because
it does feel a little surreal.
They represent the Furies who kill Orpheus at the end of the story. And that's the name of their bar. And this is like a little bit like an underdeveloped moment of the narrative. The ties between the myth are what you could say are like flaws of the film, if you want to say that there are flaws of the film.
But that's what the opening text is getting at. Which is,
right.
I wish I had it up here because, someone's going to send us an angry email or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts correcting me on this.
And say, how dare you?
But the opening text, which is basically like, we all know the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. This is how it happened. It's been happening this way throughout time. Our story takes place in this time. So, draw your own conclusions.
This is how it is.
We're not saying they're linked, which I like a very loose adaptation. We'll get to Oh Brother.
We'll get to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
I think anyone should be allowed to be like, well, that story inspired me, and this is how I'm telling it.
Exactly.
Totally. That's how I think
100%.
that has been happening for the history of art.
That's more interesting. No, all great work is imitation, right? Like there are no new narratives left, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. To have the Hounds of Hades be motorcyclists.
Pretty sick.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
In the words of the Wizard of Oz.
Gay leather-clad motorcyclists, mind you.
That's right.
Were we going to talk about the narcissism of the artist?
I feel like you were still in the middle of a point.
Oh,
but we can go. We can go to the narcissism of the artist.
Any other special effects that we want to call out? We did the gloves. I think the reverse photography on just Eurydice getting out of the bed is particularly impressive because the actress has so many movements that then have to end with her laying down on the bed and waking up in death. Just very impressively choreographed. Must have been fun to stage.
One touch I love is when Death and Sagesse and
Elthibes
arrive to take Eurydice for the first time, and they're getting set up, whatever they do. They're talking about things, and one of them really enrages Death, and her dress goes from black to white. She steps out of one shot into the next shot, screaming, and now she's in a white dress, and then she returns back to calm, and she's back in her black dress. It's also
love that.
Very simply done, just reverse shot, and it's wonderful, though.
Great point. I'm excited.
It's direct and guttural.
And a little sexy, too.
It's a little slutty.
I don't want to move on yet, but everything we're saying about the practical, the way that these effects are largely made in camera or through the magic of filmmaking with the edit, it also applies to what John Boorman is doing in Excalibur with a lot of the magic in that film in a way that gets me excited. When an effect is evoked on screen simply by dissolving images together. I mean, how can you not be romantic about filmmaking?
Has a lot in conversation with this in terms of its like practical visual effects. Oscar winner for cinematography. Wow.
Hell yeah. But Ben, did you want to talk about the narcissism of the artist?
What about
Just
the
that-
narcissism of the artist?
As we've already, I guess we've sort of already said what I wanted to say, which is that at no point does he seem to be in love with Eurydice. She is pregnant with their child, and he couldn't care less. He's gotta find.
He has art to make.
He has art to make because
A diva to worship and a twink to chase into the underworld.
it's like
He's
he's
got his
chasing.
hands full.
He's
Yeah.
chasing death. He's chasing the twink. He's chasing the underworld. And
Chasing the
I think
muse.
it's not. It's exactly. He's not
Yeah.
looking for love or anything that actually requires two people. He is
Which-
just looking for them to inspire his art.
Which for the time was probably such like a perverse take on the myth.
Yeah,
Like, well, it's supposed to
probably.
be about love.
And it wasn't. It was a man looking for novelty, essentially, so that he has poems to write, so that he can
So
go back
beautiful.
to the Poets Cafe.
And so that he will
And
never
not
die. So
Right,
that
he
the
will
work
never die.
so that the work
Mhm.
will outlive his time on Earth.
Yeah.
He
wants
is
to be
looking for that
immortal.
sense of immortality.
He has this in common with our president, Donald John Trump. But moving
Ew.
on. Well, it's
I
just
didn't like that.
well, I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Take it back.
Imagine,
I think we've agreed Orpheus is a flawed protagonist.
imagine Donald J. Trump in this role, in this exact film.
I would like to see it.
To be's okay. Just tripping in the zone.
Leave the room. I don't want to look.
Okay, but
Beautiful.
imagine.
He'd be,
Okay, so-
what a beautiful poet.
Hey, I want to make something
the
clear.
most
I want to make
beautiful
something.
poet.
I want to make some, the most beautiful poet. I want to make something very clear.
You've never seen a poet like this.
Fuck Trump, to quote Robert De Niro. He's not funny. He's a bad man. But imagine Trump like doing like the leap through the mirror and just like
Yeah.
That was a very fun
Anyway.
visual.
anyway. So aren't you glad I
think-
invoked the president?
I think on that
I
note, we
forgive
can
you
move
now.
on to Excalibur.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so this movie stars a young Donald John Trump as King Arthur.
he would be great.
The only sword, the best swords. We got the best swords. Morgana. My sister Morgana. Okay, so moving on. Excalibur,
This movie's also got
1981.
twinks.
Lot of twinks, lot of slang, lot of
twink
snatching,
son.
lot of cunt. So Excalibur is John Boorman's follow-up to Exorcist II: The Heretic, which was, of course, pilloried as one of
great
the worst
movie.
movies ever made, if not the worst movie ever made. I don't have Roger Ebert's review handy,
Okay,
but
is it
I'm
that
sure
bad?
he didn't like it. No. I have a
Was
lot
it
of
in
respect
his
for the
your
Exorcist Part 2.
movie sucks book?
I'm saying that the reaction to The Exorcist II at the time was
vicious.
The Heretic is John Boorman. You know, like this is
I've
a
never
blasphemous
seen
take
it.
on the material.
People were
It's
like,
very
"That's-
interesting, and it's the work of an auteur working confidently, moving heaven and earth to achieve his vision. And I am not the biggest fan of The Exorcist
Much
2, but I
like
have a lot of
Merlin.
respect for it.
Wow.
But we're
Much
gonna
like
get to Merlin. We're gonna get to Merlin. I will
He
shout out
is
quickly.
chewing the scenery. I don't know the actor or
We're gonna. Well, I've got a
We'll get
tab
to it.
open.
We'll
I
get
just
to
want to
it.
quickly shout out. There's a great documentary on John Boorman and The Exorcist 2 called Boorman and the Devil that was directed by David Kittredge, who is a friend of mine, and is
Isn't
an
there
excellent
also
watch.
a documentary about the making of this as well?
I don't know. There
Excalibur.
probably will be. So a new 4K disc has just been released. And sorry, I'm going to put
Gorgeous.
the nerds on blast here. I wanted to go buy that 4K disc because there is a 50% off sale on Arrow discs at Barnes & Noble.
It's an Arrow release.
It's an Arrow release, and went to go see, spoiler alert for later, I saw The Invite. That was the last movie I watched. And I went to the
Oh.
Grove, and I timed it out so that I could get off the bus, have time to peruse Barnes & Noble, get my copy of Excalibur, and then watch it at home for the podcast. Online, it said that Excalibur was in stock. I get to the Barnes & Noble. There's not nary an Excalibur disc to be found. And I look all over. I look to see if it was mislabeled in a different
pissed.
section. Nowhere. And
I'm
so
pissed.
I talked to two different employees who told me, oh no, we have them in stock, but they've all been claimed by people online. Which means the nerds...
Nerd
and
alert.
God love them.
Nerd
but
alert.
nerd alert. That, like, of all the discs, Excalibur was the one that
They
all the
needed it in
nerds
4K.
had snatched their claws on, like it's Merlin snatching baby Arthur out of his mother's hands. And
man.
and shout out to the nerds. Happy to
I watched
to keep
the
physical
4K
media alive,
Aero
but
disc, by the way.
okay, let's start there, Ben. So how was the 4K? I'm gonna
was
go get it. I
beautiful.
want to see this.
I bet it was gorgeous.
It was quite a beautiful experience. I did not cherish the object. I didn't really look through the book, but
Sure.
the image of the film was quite stunning. I borrowed my friend's edition of.
I'm ready to up my rating. I really loved Excalibur.
It's an exceptional film. So I gave Excalibur and Orpheus 4 stars on Letterboxd, which unquestionably would have been at least 4.5 if I was not watching them either on a plane or in the airport. Which I've had some
viewing conditions.
I've had some fairly sublime movie watching experiences on planes. I keep a list. What did I watch for the first time? I watched Pauline at the Beach for the first time on an airplane.
Well, there you go. That's a plane
I watched
film.
To Live and Die in
Vacation.
LA for the first time on a plane.
Oh,
It wasn't
How
the
do you
first
know
time,
this?
but because I keep a letterbox log or a letterbox list of all the movies I've watched on planes.
Oh, it's like a tag plane movie.
Yeah. Well, I should have tagged. I have a
Great,
private list.
beautiful.
I did a flight one
Oh.
time where I double featured Anthony Mann, James Stewart Western. So I did Bend of the River.
I can't watch
Man
a
from
movie on a
Laramie.
plane. I won't
I
do
can-
it.
I've
never
only
done it.
watch.
No, I've watched
I can-
Oppenheimer on a plane, which is really weird.
The older I get, the harder
I think
time
I did it
have
for the
being on
bet,
planes.
As Nolan
was-
intended.
And I'm cracking
It was
up.
my second
I'm
viewing,
cracking up.
mind you. My second viewing.
I pretty much at this point can only watch like classic films on the plane or
I just
subtitled
can't
films
do
on
it
the
because
plane.
I feel like the person next to me is peeping my screen.
well, when I
Because
was
I'm
watching
peeping their screens.
when I was watching
Yes.
when I was watching
Absolutely.
Excalibur and we
And
got
judging.
to the rape scene in the beginning of the
Mhm.
film where there is
Yeah.
a lot
Where
of
the boobs come
a
out.
lot of aggressive sexual activity and boobs. I took the window
He goes,
on my
"I
laptop.
must have her."
I saw this drawn.
You covered
I
the boobs.
made the window literally this big on the screen.
You know
Yeah.
what I
That's
did
so, like,
watch on a plane
funny.
is like an entire season of Big Mouth. So maybe I have no room
That's a
to
good-
talk.
that's good
But
on
I
plane.
took my iPad and like leaned it really towards me
You
during
felt
like
shame.
I felt shame,
I watched
which is a
Succession for the
which
first
is
time on a plane.
a theme of the program. Shame.
I watched Joseph Losey's The Go-Between. I watched Satyajit Ray's The Adversary. Like, low-key, this list is fucking hot.
kind of
that
a
I
fire
feel.
list on your
Yeah, it's
airplane
kind of a
list.
fire list. Maybe
My list
one
would
day.
be like Marley and Me,
That's
animated
okay.
Barbie.
Well,
Like
I always
stupid
point to
shit.
like
Feel Pretty, the Amy Schumer, vehicle on the plane.
one of my favorite
Great film.
plane-going movies, and this was
Mhm.
now, I guess, 11 years ago. I watched Barbershop 3, The Next Cut, and cried.
Nice.
Yeah. It's because they say when you're watching movies in the sky that it's easier to cry or that like your emotions are more stirred for some reason
Because of the elevation.
because of the altitude.
The pressure, the air pressure.
Barbershop, The Next Cut, I think would
Pushes
make you
on your
cry on the ground
eyeballs.
too. Okay, we are
Eyeballed
not here
up.
to talk about Angel Face, The Big Clock, Anatomy of a Murder, other things I watched on a plane. We're
Let's
here to
keep
talk
talking about all the movies you've watched on a plane.
Okay, so I also rewatched High and Low on a plane. Oh, actually, sorry. I will say this, and then we'll talk about Excalibur.
I watched High and Low on a plane once.
Yeah, it's a great plane watch, and it wasn't a first watch, but I don't even know why I had it on my computer, but I did. The
To
power
watch
of the
it on
visual,
the plane.
I guess so.
Specifically
that's
for the
why.
plane, it
Like,
was waiting.
for the reason you're stating. The visual storytelling is so strong in High and Low that the woman sitting next to me obviously could read the subtitles
Was
because
she
the film's in
tuned in?
Japanese. She was locked in for High and Low.
You should have been
Right.
like the only funny part in Stop That Train when she's like, "Don't look at my screen. Don't look at my screen."
That is funny. Are you? Yes.
No, you should have been
Don't
like,
look at
"Do
my
you
screen."
want one of my earbuds?" And
I should have done that. I mean, like, do you want to hear a song that's going to change your life? And have,
Very
like, a
quickly,
Garden State moment.
I need to
Yeah.
defend Sarah Michelle Gellar in
She's good.
Stop That Train because that running bit is hilarious.
That is a funny bit, and Drew
Okay.
Droege does a good job in that moment too.
I didn't know that she was in the film.
Well, no spoilers.
It's a running bit. I'll spoil it. It's a running bit where people are about to say like, "Hey, aren't you?" And she's like, "Yes." And they're like, "In my seat." It's a great bit.
Like looking at
Wonderful.
my screen.
Anyway,
Okay, so we're here. We're here to talk about. Oh,
when Merlin first
ahead.
appeared on the screen, I was like, I didn't know Max von Sydow was in this, and then it wasn't him. It was not.
No, but
him.
did you know that Uther Pendragon was Gabriel Byrne?
No.
Gabriel Byrne, a young
He
Liam
looks
Neeson
familiar.
is in the
I
background.
know.
Obviously,
Kieran
Patrick
Hines is
Stewart.
there.
Kieran Hines is
I
there.
barely recognized Liam Neeson.
If
He has a very,
fold
very
for
tiny
young
role.
Kieran Hines.
I would for now for old Kieran Hines.
Liam Neeson was like Gawain, though, wasn't he?
Oh, no way. He was Gawain.
He
Oh my God.
duels.
The reason
Yeah.
why that's nuts is because I only picked him out later in the film in the background of a shot. I was like, that's Liam Neeson. And I have notes
No,
on
he's
Gawain.
like a main guy. Yeah.
He's more prominent than
I'm like
Kieran
Bresson
Hines.
with
I
your
He's
also-
just in the
I have
background.
notes on Gawain.
I also was watching it with Amazon X-Ray.
Well, that helps. That helps.
Okay.
Had
Okay,
some
should I
fun
do-
trivia.
Should I do the plot description?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
So, Excalibur, 1981, directed by John Boorman. This is the story of King Arthur. All right. So, moving on.
Oh.
We've got that done. I mean, what else is there to say? Like, I'm not going to go beat by beat through all of the stories in this
That's
very
it.
episodic film.
It kind of makes me want to watch Guy
the-
Ritchie's King Arthur. Is that weird?
I
arguably
was
better.
so
Just kidding.
relieved when not 30 minutes into the film he takes the sword from the stone, because I thought we are building to him learning that he's King Arthur. I didn't realize we were going through all of the stories of King Arthur. So when I realized, oh, we're just getting through it. Let's go, babe.
Yep.
Let's go.
It's not the animated
Ben, I had-
Sword in the Stone Disney version.
No, ma'am.
Mhm.
Ben, I had the same feeling when he just very quickly pulls it right out.
We're
With
like,
no one looking and no
we're off to the
fanfare.
races.
I'm like, this is terrific. We're going to cover
And
so
his
much
dad
ground.
is like, put that back, and we'll do it.
And he does. And he does.
It's also
No
like-
problem.
It's a
Mhm.
movie, for a movie that is clearly handmade with so much love and so much intention behind all these choices. There's something refreshingly matter of fact about moments like that in the film. Where, like, the way that Excalibur is lit is fucking nuts. You've got on one side like a light with green gels pushing up against the blade, and then on the other side you just have like hot regular lights, so it's sort of beaming out gold.
Speaking of
And
reflector,
that's
they
captured-
love reflectors.
Speaking of reflector, that the way that Excalibur
Callback.
reflects is arguably better than reflector.
And
But
all
it-
the suits
In
of
the
armor.
same shot. Yeah, but there's always something gleaming,
Something's gleaming. Anyway.
Yeah, the sun is catching some silver. But the last thing about the way that sword is lit is it's captured in the same shot. Like, the camera moves around the sword. It's not like
Yeah.
one side it's a green reflection, one side it's gold, and we cut. It's captured in the same image, in the same camera movement, going back to creating magic in camera simply by using ingenuity,
Lighting.
DIY solutions around lighting, but like by figuring out clever ways to do this in camera rather than just figuring it out later in post and making it look fake.
Yeah.
Rather than just
Girl, that's
removing
the winner for
nipples in
cinematography.
post.
Brandon, I did double check your math and it did not win the Oscar for cinematography. But
What?
it was nominated, and the
Hold
only
on.
reason I'm saying this is because I know that someone's going to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts
And
correct us.
I thought
So I
it
wanted
said
it to come from a
winner of
friend.
what? It must have been nominated for one
Nominated.
Oscar.
Yeah, nominated for one. But
Well,
I guess I'll say
fuck
this because
me.
this is how I was starting it. This is what John Boorman rebounds with over what was considered probably the worst movie ever made at the time. And that it is a movie that spares really no expense in terms of its production value, its number of locations, its number of actors, that it is such a bold swing with a crazy tone. I mean, this movie is basically tilting between hellish spectacle and just painful sincerity.
Mhm.
Oftentimes within the same scene, that is a nearly impossible balance to strike and have it all feel cohesive to the same vision. It is a work of titanic ambition and huge scale. And to be able to do that after you've been raked through the coals by audiences, by critics, by the trades, I mean, I would say not since Don't Worry Darling Into the Invite has a filmmaker made such made such artistic redemption. So sorry, that's just the other piece I want to say before we talk about the movie more. But it's a miracle that this film exists.
I was gonna make the joke that if he was a woman, he never would have gotten the chance, but you just proved that's wrong. Because Olivia Wilde.
I'm dispelling myths left
her second
chance today. Oh, and speaking of dispelling myths,
which makes Olivia Wilde the greatest female auteur in history.
Correct. Yeah, and I want to be very clear on something. I gave Orpheus and The Invite the same star rating on Letterboxd, so I just for the record, I think Jean Cocteau and Olivia Wilde are equally good filmmakers.
Exactly.
I think that's a fair statement.
Because that's how these things work.
Yep.
That's how the world works.
Hello. Tap, tap, tap,
Hello.
tap, 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 tap.
I cannot believe it didn't win. I'm such a liar. It was nominated. My apologies to the listeners and viewers.
What won instead? Yeah,
can I?
It better have been something fucking good.
Can I share my note on the film, and then we can go back to what's good about it, because I do mostly like it. It's not that I mostly like it. I think it's great, but I have a note, and it's like eating me alive that I haven't said it yet.
Okay, can I have 5 seconds so we're done on the cinematography point?
Yes.
Reds won the Oscar. Reds won the Oscar for best cinematography.
Oh my God!
No
what a beautiful callback.
Ben,
deserved.
What a beautiful
the floor is yours.
Full circle moment.
I simply wish I had more of what is John Boorman's perspective on the events of King Arthur. I feel like it's just presenting the events.
It's a retelling.
But it's not real. I don't really get anything. Like, I know what Christopher Nolan thinks about the Odyssey, right? Everyone's talking about how he has bastardized the Odyssey by making it about what he wanted to be about. I know what he wanted to be about. I don't know what John Boorman wanted to be about. I wish I did.
I think it's just a very faithful retelling. I think that was his goal, because you're right. There isn't really anything
and I think
more
it's awesome,
in depth.
And I think it's incredible that he put it in this register after Monty Python and the Holy Grail came out.
The
incredibly bold choice.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Bold.
In basically the same register, but without humor,
but with sincerity.
Yeah,
fully
with humor, but not the same type of humor.
Right. But so go on. What were you going to say?
Well, I do think he has a perspective on it, which is that to me, he's saying that this is a saga that begins with rape and ends with incest. And every time we dip into the little villages around the kingdom, we learn that all of these great tales of great men, famine and pestilence is all King Arthur has wrought. Like, King Arthur is not really a great man, like the way that Nolan presents Odysseus. King Arthur's just some guy who, for some reason, the gods have taken a shine to. And
but isn't that only
you get to pull the sword from the stone and
after he abandons Excalibur? I thought the thing was that there's abundance when it's that early part of Camelot, and then
that's a fair point. But
that's what I thought.
That's a fair point, and maybe that is what it is. But the first thing I was saying, which is like when Uther Pendragon is raping the queen by pretending to be someone he's not, like, I find that imagery to be pretty violent. And then when you see like Merlin pull Arthur, or I think maybe Uther pulls Arthur from his mother's hands, and the baby is like tearing at her hair and everything, like. Typically, I don't think that the myths include these details where the vibes are pretty bad. Like it's like, what is this all?
That's a good point.
What is this all for? And like the beginning of the movie, when you see like the siege that Uther Pendragon is laying upon this kingdom or whatever, it's pretty hellish. Like the balls of fire and people screaming and everything is fire and brimstone. It is presented matter-of-factly. But again, like, the vibes are pretty bad, even though it's fun to look at. And like
I'm reminded
Merlin,
of Game of Thrones in this sense of bringing a sense of reality to the Middle Ages and
for sure
the brutality of it.
You could say there's a real quote unquote time of apparent magic going on in the presentation of this. And like when Uther asks Merlin to, let him forcibly have sex with the woman inside the castle, Merlin is distraught about it. He had to rest for 7 blood moons or whatever in order to regain the sense of respect. Like, so I hear your point, because I do think a lot of it is presented matter-of-factly, but I do think that there is a sense of like all of this great myth is built upon death, disease, rape.
He's showing the gritty.
Yeah.
The dark underbelly of the myth.
Yeah.
In moments.
But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. I see both sides.
I understand it's a beloved stoner film.
Yeah, that's what I learned as well.
Exactly.
Like, what makes it such a stoner flick? Because it's like colorful and goofy and...
Yeah, it's just vibes.
It really, a lot of it is vibes.
It's so much vibes.
Like
Linda was loving all of the nature. Linda was
that's the other thing.
Glued to television with the nature. I really had the thought while watching it, like, I really need to have sex in nature soon. You know what I mean?
I'm sure the stoners feel that way too.
Lancelot's ass catching the moon glow.
Okay, Lancelot?
Lancelot was a snack.
Lancelot is a snack.
I would fuck him too. Or
there's
time to fuck Lancelot
him until after I had proven my innocence, and then fuck Lancelot.
Yes,
and then maybe again.
Correct.
The imagery of Lancelot fighting himself and then he's like stabbed in the side. It's so nightmarish.
He becomes a beggar. Let's get these beggars out of here.
And then that beggar comes back.
He comes back, baby.
I want to say another thing about why this is probably a great stoner film. It is so episodic in nature, like in terms of requiring an intense amount of focus while you're watching it. If you get lost, you can just wait 5 or 10 minutes and then we're going to move on.
That's true.
We're in the next.
A new little beat happens.
We're on to the next moment.
Can we talk about Helen? Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren is
where to start?
Wonderful Morgana.
Delivering her own bastard child of incest, pulling him from her womb.
Going back to my line, when I saw not one but nominated for it, I was kind of secretly hoping it was. Did Helen Mirren get nominated for this?
She should have been,
but it was not, as we learned.
Nickel
Williams, Merlin too. Yes,
Merlin.
Yeah, he was also fantastic.
Did you guys think of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull when she asks Merlin for the knowledge and he says it will burn you and she says, burn me.
Yes.
What's great about that is right after she says, then burn me, she freezes Merlin with ice.
She's like,
you can try and burn me, bitch. I have ice hands.
Merlin is this all-powerful wizard and
necromancer, really.
What is a necromancer?
He self-identifies. He says it's a lonely way, the way of the necromancer
brings people back from the dead,
just like Dracula.
And Morgana
basically
calls him a virgin.
Yeah, he acts like one.
He's giving virgin with that helmet.
Hold on. She says something like, perhaps you ache for what you cannot have.
He looks like Magneto.
Yeah, that's true, Ben.
Speaking of
by the way, I'm saying to Ben's quoting Morgana, and I'm like, Ben, you're so right.
She's right. Patrick
she said it.
She said it. Hey, she said it.
I was very drawn to the evil twink.
Oh, Mordred?
Mordred,
the son.
Mordred, the blonde Mordred.
He had a cool helmet.
Very cool helmet.
That's also why it's a stoner film, because you're just like,
great helmet.
Is introduced as a child, laughing in his helmet.
Yeah, and then grows up to be an evil
riding
twink.
on a horse. Yes,
through a dissolve, not through a dissolve. I think we cut to Morgana, like putting Mordred's armor on, something like
the helmet on,
and then we cut back, and now he's a tall, strapping young man.
Now you have to do battle with your father. Sorry.
Sorry, but you do have to do it.
The way the
Helen-
cookie crumbles.
Helen Mirren looks so good in everything she's wearing in this movie. Her stainless steel headband with various beads. When she's standing against like a row of just like boring ass beige maidens, and then she's got her magenta face shawl on, like she's serving cunt. It should be said, and I just said it.
That's the name of the episode.
There's one of my
Cunt.
favorite cuts in the movie is, yeah, that's the name of the episode, is when Merlin is walking down the stairs into like Morgana's lair. And the reverse cut to Helen Mirren as Morgana is she's just got like a fistful of dead snakes and she's just like slamming them on a table.
I loved the fistful of dead snakes. And he's
She's
basically like,
"Let me get this out of here."
He's like, you're just doing potions still. Don't you want to learn the real magic?
And she said, "Burn
Snakes.
me." Snake magic. I think that something that I find very interesting about this movie that, again, I think all three of these are kind of dismantling the ideas of myths in different ways. For a movie about King Arthur, it feels like the protagonist of this movie changes about 15 different times.
Yeah.
You could look at it as this is actually Morgana's story. You could look at it as if it is Percival's story.
Percival gets really hot when he gets a beard.
Yeah,
I don't know if the actor changes or if they just style him differently when he grows a beard.
No,
I think it was searching for the Grail in the woods for 5 years.
He was looking for the Grail, and he found
Percival's
beauty.
Low-key the main character in the film.
He does the work.
And he is plucked from obscurity in the way that they said that no one could, like, Arthur must be king because of his bloodline. And then Percival ends up, in many ways, becoming the hero of the story. And he's just some guy that Arthur knighted because he needed a champion or whatever in the tourney for Lancelot.
He was willing to defend
honor.
Guinevere for no reason because he
That's
believed.
how good of a guy he is.
Beautiful.
The Percival section for the Holy Grail, I think, is magnificent. And some of the imagery of like Gawain with his throat slit tied to the back of a horse, just walking through the woods, all of the men hanging from their nooses, their eyes getting eaten by ravens.
Yeah.
This is effective nightmare fuel. Like it's the movie scared me. Like it takes a lot to scare me. At the old age of 35,
I
watching
wonder
a
if
movie.
that's also why stoners like it.
Yeah, its tone is constantly shifting. Again, it's always sincere, but there's so much nightmare spectacle in the film, and I want to know what the rope budget was. I want to know.
I loved
the eyeball budget
cutting
was.
the rope.
That shit rocks.
Yeah, that was good. The boot cutting the rope was really good,
cool
right?
stuff.
When he's about to discover the location,
and then he
of the
gets
Grail.
cut down.
But he is cut free.
It's
He's
a very
loosed free from his noose.
It's a confident piece of visual storytelling, and
I
that,
really
like,
liked
you believe it.
To the point of the economic state of England in this time. There's the sword is put into the stone. We cut. It's 20 years later or whatever, and a cottage industry has popped up around the stone. There's like a little tent city, and there are what is the word, like troubadours who tell the tale, and there are little plays, and there are all sorts of,
it's already a myth.
I love
all of the accoutrements that someone would need who wants to come and remove the sword from the stone. You know, you come do that, and then you've got entertainment and food and horse repair and a welder. Like everything comes.
Hey, you had me at horse repair.
You can come do your hand at the sword, and then there's
also
food
get
and
some
drink
stuff
available.
Done. Yeah,
exactly.
Get your horse repaired, and maybe have a crack up with the boys while you're hanging out in the woods and waiting for your horse to be repaired.
And then maybe the real Arthur will suddenly just be like, "Let me try," and pulls the sword out without a veil. Wow!
And then he puts it back in.
That's Arthur.
Girl, that's Arthur. Girl, that's Arthur's sword. I think in the scene after that, when Arthur is doing battle with Excalibur, when he has not been accepted as the true king yet, and then everybody kind of gets on his side, and then that knight knights him in the river. It's a great and surprising image all of these men in their full suits of armor just standing in a river.
Mm-hmm.
How often
I
do you
loved
see
their
that?
suits of armor.
How often do you
Same.
see a man in a suit of armor just standing in a river, crying because he's met the true king of England
Right.
as he knights
It's
the man?
gorgeous.
He's uniting
It's gorgeous. These are
the
earthy
vassals.
images. The vassals are being united.
by
Just
Arthur.
like Dracula. Yes. The Arthur.
Please.
Um,
Just
what
like
was-
Dracula.
You made this fist.
I was
Brandon.
dying at just like Dracula.
Oh.
It just keeps coming back.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's just
Just
like
like
Dracula.
Just that is just like Dracula. This bit
what
will not
Dracula
die.
does.
Just
Okay,
like
do we have
Dracula.
anything more to say? Because I need to move
Yeah,
on to
the
Oh
last-
Brother.
okay,
or
we'll do
I
Our
will
Brother.
die.
Because, oh, brother, is it hot in here without
Oh
the air
Brother
conditioning
is
on?
right.
It's a shame you're not cold to the touch like Dracula because he doesn't have any blood in his veins.
The name of the
Okay,
episode is just
the
like
last thing,
Dracula.
just like Dracula. Okay, the last thing I'll say, because I realized I didn't say in the intro, this is not actually an episode timed to the release of live action Moana. Obviously, this is because the Odyssey has come out. And there's a
Oh, I
line.
didn't know that.
Well, yes, it's been out for a few weeks. I believe you've seen it. Yes, it's an interesting film. There's a line in this film
Interesting.
that made me think of the Odyssey. Two things,
Mm.
actually. One
Let's
is when
hear it.
Merlin's having his moment with Morgana, and he's like, we're sort of moving out of the era of magic. We are moving into an era of men.
thought
That's
of
not the
this
line, but
too.
like, all three of these movies, also Orpheus, maybe in like the intergenerational conflict, like there's real end of an era vibes going on.
Yeah.
Like you're watching the last gasp of what this society is, and then the story ends, and we believe we
Our
move
age
into
of bronze is ending.
another age. Exactly. But the line is, when a man lies, he murders a piece of the world. Like that sounds
Ooh.
like
When you
that
break
sounds like
Zeus's
something.
law.
When you break Zeus's law, it sounds like something
Very
Athena
similar.
would say in
Yes.
the Odyssey. So I'm sure that Excalibur was running through Christopher Nolan's head in the script writing process.
Maybe so. I wonder if
'cause
he's a fan.
That's why, like, when Merlin
I'm gonna
is
go
like,
throw pebbles at his window until he opens it and
Hey,
ask
You
him.
should.
just
Were you
hold the-
inspired by
hold the 4K
Excalibur?
up. This
Were you
Like,
inspired?
hello?
was it? This
Were you inspired
point,
by
point.
this?
And then I see a sniper in his Gulf Stream.
Step away.
Gotta go.
step away from
Text
the
me.
auteur. I think that's the last thing
He doesn't text. He
I
doesn't
want to
have
say.
a phone.
He doesn't have a phone.
He doesn't
And he doesn't
have a
email.
cell phone. He
That's
doesn't
so
email.
annoying.
That's why his children
Get
call him
over
Mr.
yourself.
Woodcock. Was that
Love
last thing
him.
going to- Yes. Yes.
Oh, brother,
Let's-
where art thou?
Move on.
Brother.
Yes.
Direct. Oh, brother.
Brother.
That's what I
Brother.
thought. That's what I thought. Picking the movie. No. So this is a Coen that I hadn't seen, so I got to add it to my Coen ranked list. This film is about 3 runaway convicts. Their names are as thus:
Ulysses.
Ulysses.
George Clooney plays
And
Ulysses.
Dracula.
Me
and-
Googling earlier, why are the names Odysseus and Ulysses the same? And the answer is that
What is the answer?
Ulysses is the Latin name for the myth.
Oh. And then we got John Turturro playing Pete Hogwallop.
Pete Hogwallop.
And we got Tim Blake Nelson playing Delmar O'Donnell.
Delmar.
Where was the Oscar nomination for Tim Blake Nelson?
Tim Blake
He
Nelson is
plays
really the
dumb
MVP
so well.
of this for me, as he
I
often is.
agree. He's playing dumb very smartly.
What does he
If
say to?
possible.
He's like, gopher. Would you like some gopher? And then he like answers someone's question. He's like, and by the way, would you like some gopher, or whatever it is? You can correct the animal and with a 5-star review. Just quickly, it's crazy that didn't break through in the supporting race because this did get nominated for adapted screenplay. The soundtrack wins album of the year. This was a massive cultural phenomenon.
It was.
And
really
yeah.
was.
It is.
Which
It
I
is so
forgot
well acted
about.
across the board. I can see why. I mean, Clooney wins the Golden Globe, and it's in my top 5 Clooney for sure. I can see why that miss doesn't
Clooney is
land with
fantastic.
Oscar. But Tim Blake Nelson.
My hair.
By the way, he's a writer.
It is
he's
the
an actor,
movie-
he's a director. He's a singer. He is a Renaissance man. Tim Blake
That
Nelson.
made Clooney a movie star.
Is this the
movie
one that did it? Because it was
Yes.
2000. It was even before Ocean's 11.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
this
a
is
couple
the
years
one
after Out of
that
Sight.
established his true.
Out of Sight was the precursor to this.
Yeah, but
Out
that
of Sight
wasn't as
was a
big of a hit
flop.
as this. Yeah,
No,
that wasn't
I
really
think
a hit like this.
It was considered.
that-
it was considered a good movie.
That got
That was
legs later.
that I think
Correct.
also got a adapted screenplay nomination. But yes,
Really?
I mean, and he's in
But-
Thin Red Line, but it's not a large role per se.
I didn't even know he was in that.
He's got. I'm pulling up the
Ben is having a
the list of
disturbance.
films here because Ben is right. Oh my God, Ben.
There's a
Ben,
loud noise happening, and I don't know what it is.
Go
I'm like-
investigate.
I kind of feel like the aliens are here.
You're
time
in
to
disclosure,
disclose.
baby.
I think
It's
next
time
door
to
they turned the
disclose.
stereo on, but it really spooked me. I was like,
Ben,
oh,
you
need to
what's
go look?
happening? No, I'm
Ben,
It stopped.
to your point, Brother Where Art Thou comes out the same year as The Perfect Storm, which was the other massive mega hit of that
The
year.
Perfect
that
Storm,
stars
which-
Clooney.
That
which changed
created-
movie posters forever. Did you guys
Absolutely.
know that?
Well, it's an
Let me look.
evocative and
Let me
iconic
look this
poster.
up.
And he did it, and he
How
had
did
Three
it
Kings the year
change?
before, which was critically respected but doesn't break through at the Oscars.
Now,
in the
how
same
did this
way,
change
although
movie posters
Good Dad
forever?
Good
Because
nominated.
it's a big wave with the boat. Explain.
Yeah, that's exactly how. There's
and
no
it tells you exactly what the movie
people
is.
on it. There's no people on it.
Oh, that was a big deal for the time.
That was a big deal for the time.
They
that it
simply
was
didn't have
sold on
boats
an idea.
on posters.
So now
Yes.
we could have a movie poster with no people.
Correct,
With
because
a boat.
The Perfect Storm was a huge hit.
A huge hit.
Because
I
that
love The Perfect
poster
Storm.
and the Alien versus Predator posters and the What Lies Beneath poster were the one. Actually,
oh sure,
No people.
forget I said Alien versus Predator. I'm being sincere. That poster really scared me as a child. But What Lies Beneath with the hand on the bathtub?
yeah,
You didn't need
It's
any
just
people. You didn't need her face
the bar
looking up like
'Cause, like,
this.
The bar
even
tub.
like
me when I'm in the
Sixth
bar tub.
Sense. There are multiple faces on that poster.
For sure.
The poster that I remember. Maybe not on
Certainly.
the DVD box, but on the poster.
There's
Perhaps
people,
by the
baby.
time
Good
the
French
DVD box
pronunciation.
came out, The Perfect
They
Storm
decided
had been
no
released.
people. We don't need people.
So without Oh Brother Where Art Thou, by the way, we don't get the terrible looking
The
film
Cars in the
Confessions of a
Cars
Dangerous
universe.
Mind.
We don't need people.
We
Right.
also don't.
Sorry.
Brandon, you're bringing a tear to my eye. You've made a beautiful point.
I had to get it
about
out of my
the-
system.
Not just the legitimacy of the Cars franchise, but the beauty of it
Hmm.
too.
Yeah.
The cars
They
used
don't
to
need
the
people.
road used to move with the land. Do you want to talk
Anyway,
about
what
the
were you
plot?
saying? Okay,
Oh,
so
the
the
Confessions
plot,
of a
it's
Dangerous
very-
Mind looks the way it does because he was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Right.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Oh,
Anyway.
is he more prominent in the? That makes sense.
Well, no, because we'll get into the color grading, I'm sure. But so go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you mean him directing that movie looks the way it does
The reason why there's all of that color correction in that way is because
Of
he
this
was in
movie.
Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
which we talked about
Yeah.
during Confessions. I caught up. I got there.
Yeah.
The plot, I was there. I just forgot I was there. The plot is a very loose adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey. And it's a very loose adaptation, I would say, which is why I like the movie more. Because I think what it does is very
According
special.
to the Dracula Roger Ebert's review, the Coens
The
after it came
Dracula.
out said they never read the Odyssey. They just did it based on
And
what
I
they
believe it.
they know
Rena-
about the Odyssey.
which
Renaissance man
is
Tim
great.
Blake Nelson was the only one
Who had
the
read it?
legend goes who had read the Odyssey.
which I think goes to our point earlier that like the best adaptations are an interpretation of.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works the fact that it doesn't bear a whole lot of similarities to Homer's The Odyssey because I think the
Me too.
movie is about myths being myths. I think that it's just as interested in American political mythology. It's interested in Christian mythology. It's interested like in the ways symbols come to represent ideas that are used to trick people into giving up their power. And like I think the whole political backdrop of this film is getting at myths are used to manipulate in order to have people either go along with or endorse the whims of powerful people. And I
It's
think that go ahead.
It's a very goofy ass movie. In your log, I think you called it Looney Tunes, which it's pretty much
Mhm.
Looney Tunes.
It is a cartoon.
But
Yeah.
it is not hiding, but it's doing something deeper. And I compare it to Hail Caesar, because Hail
Totally.
Caesar is
Totally.
also like a farce on the surface, but it's actually speaking to some like very heavy themes.
It's a movie about capitalism.
I had forgotten how much the governor's race is in this movie. Like I remembered that
Sure, yeah.
one of them was going to be the Klan guy, and that the Soggy Bottom Boys would get recognized and pardoned by the other governor candidate. But I had forgotten that they are really woven through the entire film.
Yes. And by the way, the KKK section talk about myths that Americans tell themselves, the idea of the glory of the antebellum South, the idea of the beauty of the Confederacy, another myth that is a lie that is being used to suppress and concentrate power.
And
That's
I
right.
do like, I know Ebert said it's a knock against the movie, how it feels like a series of shorts, but I think the episodic nature works. They're fumbling through like big events like a KKK rally. They just like happen to be there for these different like crazy moments.
It reminded me of Winchester 73 a little bit, and that it's a movie where the
I
characters
haven't
are
seen
basically.
that.
Oh, I thought we saw that
Probably.
together.
Did we? Maybe.
Are you sure? I think you've seen it with me.
Check your letter.
I really don't know.
I haven't seen it.
I've always described
if that
Winchester
matters,
73 as like
let's
a
take a look.
panoramic tour through the surfaces of the Old West. It's like there's going to be a showdown on Main Street.
Well,
You're
I
going to end
Googled
up
it and I
in
got
the
a
general
gun.
store. The
Well,
title is a gun.
It is
The title is
literally a gun. So,
But it's a means of exploring what we think of as the Old West through these characters who are just sort of shuffling in and out of these micro narratives. Like Shelley
Bullet-ridden
Winters doesn't
Odyssey.
even. Yeah, you
That's
got
what they
Shelley
call it.
Winters in this thing. Anyway,
so I have indeed logged and reviewed.
You're like, I've never seen this movie in my life.
but the
Winchester
question is how
73.
many stars did you give it?
4 stars and a heart. And I
Okay,
said the
fine.
way this is, Hassard Balthazar with a gun. We saw it on Nitrate.
We saw it together at the Egyptian on Nitrate.
You erase this core memory.
This is before
What year?
my spiritual
50
breakthrough.
something. Yeah, I think it was the year before. I don't know if you guys ever saw Kevin Costner's Horizon, but
I
I
did
always have thought it's a less. What some people do give it credit for, I'm like,
What
yes,
happened to
that's
part 2 of
more
Horizon?
interestingly explored in Winchester 73. It premiered at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival, and it hasn't been seen since.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Because
Will it
I've
ever
only
reach
seen part
HBO
1 and
Max?
I'm like,
I need to know what Glenn Turman is doing there. For those who haven't seen Horizon Part 1, it ends with a 3-minute montage trailer for
for
Part
those
2.
who haven't seen it, everyone. Everyone.
I think it's a
hasn't
really
seen it.
interesting. I think it's a really interesting movie, and if you're at all interested in Hollywood and
myths?
the idea, in myths, we could have done Horizon on this episode. I think it's an interesting curio that for me doesn't work at all.
You know what
but
else
it,
I learned we
of
could have
course,
done
has
on this
value.
episode?
What?
The SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Yes, that is
That's true.
apparently the
That's true.
Odyssey.
It
That's
is.
true.
I've not
It's a loose
seen that.
adaptation of the Odyssey.
The way we
SpongeBob
can
SquarePants
talk
movie.
about SpongeBob now on this podcast, and for years we were not able to talk about SpongeBob on this podcast.
Power of
And
the
now we
Odyssey.
can. And
That
they
is
tried
the
to
now we
power of
can.
silence us.
Odysseys and myths.
They
So
tried
what more
to
to say about this
silence us.
movie? John Goodman is fantastic.
Big Dan.
I
As
mean,
the
just-
Cyclops.
And it's funny that we have Holly Hunter and John Goodman
we
in
did
another movie.
2
It's true.
back
I
to
thought about
back
that.
episodes.
I thought
And
about
I
that.
love
Didn't
that
occur to
Holly
me.
Hunter. Holly Hunter is like the version of oh my god, my brain. What's her name?
It's the Heat.
Ozark. It's the Heat. Laura Linney. Wow, that was scary. I think I have Alzheimer's.
Ben,
Laura
can you
Linney
can you quote?
stuck on the phone in Sully. I felt like this was Holly Hunter's like version of that. She's just like stuck with these children
She's got
being
her
like
6 kids.
yeah, her 6 daughters.
Leslie!
And he's just.
Did you guys see that Sully is ill
Chesley.
in real
No.
life? I didn't.
All right,
I
prayers
forget
up,
if it
prayers
was
up
like
for Sully.
it's like Alzheimer's or he's got some affliction.
We'll have
Prayers
to
up
do
for his
something
soul.
for Sully.
Prayers up for Sully.
Ben,
Rate
can you...
us, review us, and tell us, are you thinking about Sully?
Yes, 5 stars, yes. Ben, can you also do the Laura Linney line from Ozark that you are off to quote over text?
We are so close. Laura Linney says this in roughly...
Never heard Ben say that in my life.
We are so close. Laura Linney says this in Ozark 4 to 5 times an episode.
Ben and I will send this to each other when we're working on
seasons.
What is she so close to?
We are so close.
Win.
To pulling it off.
Jason Bateman is always like, we got to get out. And she's always like, we are so close.
Well, I thought it was reverse. I thought Laura Linney would be on the phone being like, we got to get out.
No, have you not seen Ozark?
Should I watch Ozark?
It's really
Low-key,
good.
Yes. Low-key,
you
yes.
would really enjoy it.
I mean, I love Laura Linney.
I think it's
Ozark?
great.
I watched the entirety of DTF St. Louis with Jason Bateman, so I can handle him.
So you're already there.
Because I'm not the biggest Laura Linney fan. I think she's talented. I just don't love her. But I think that Ozark is her best work.
It's pretty extraordinary.
Well, I'll have to.
Ozark.
She's giving a Lady Macbeth role.
Yes. Ozark, and arguably might have been better than Frances McDormand in the Joel Coen version. Ozark catches or caught a lot of strays when it came out as being like
Breaking Bad light.
Yes, and so what people were saying was this exposes the end of the golden age of television and a rise in quote unquote faux prestige.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so it was like Ozark's got that sheen of I should take this seriously. But it's actually trashy and contrived and
yes, and it is those things.
And it's all of those things, and that's partly why it rocks. It's partly why it rocks.
Okay.
And I remember seeing Julia Garner win all these Emmys for it and be like, oh, God, this is like Modern Family all over again. But when you watch Julia Garner's performance as Ruth, she deserved every single one. Maybe not the last one. Maybe not the last one.
She's an incredible actor and gives an incredible performance.
It's one of the great television performances, period, full stop. But take my words with a grain of salt because, as I said before, I don't really watch TV.
You're going to have to fucking... I'm not going to scream.
Which, by the way, you know who said that before? Before Ruth. That would be Dracula. Oh, that would be Dracula.
Goodbye.
I think it was Ulysses. What else do we have to say about Ulysses?
We should talk about what a crazy looking movie it is.
Because I'm cooking.
You know who else is cooking? You know who else is cooking? Roger Deakins.
He is cooking in this. Was it nominated for cinematography because it better?
Of course, is Delmar. Delmar is cooking the gopher.
Cooking gopher.
He's cooking gopher. Well,
that's funny.
I don't remember if we talked about the frog on mic, but I think John Goodman, his whole little section is just incredible because he's a snake from the start.
Yeah, money, and he lights up. He's gonna get that money
at lunch. He's at lunch.
He knows there's money in that box, but guess what? There ain't no money in that box. There's a toad.
There's a frog.
There's a toad.
As he says, it's all about the money, boys. Another myth that the film is trying to dismantle about the state of the nation of America and the values that drive it.
Fantastic.
He is an avatar, like everyone in this film is an avatar for the lies America tells itself.
We've talked about the music. I mean, we've talked about... I guess we really haven't talked about the humor. But
let me say about the cinematography.
Yeah.
Unless because if we're gonna start cracking up and just saying what's a crack up, that's a good way to finish out, I think.
Tell me about the cinematography, because I agree.
This obviously was a landmark achievement in cinematography because it was digitally color corrected in a way that had never been done before up to the time. This was considered revolutionary. And
did it win?
No, I don't think it won.
Because Roger Deakins didn't win until crap movies 20 years later.
That was a big deal that he kept getting.
Or Blade Runner 2049.
He only has won for Blade Runner in 1917.
I just want to say how truly crazy looking this movie is, that this cold open of the chain gang singing a song while breaking rocks. The
Mhm.
camera's beneath them, and you see their black and white prison uniforms and then their faces, which are all in this sort of deadened sepia tone. And the sky is bright blue and white with the clouds behind them. It's a weird looking image, and your eyes adjust to the aesthetic, and then when the movie ends, everything fades finally into black and white, like a photograph you would look at of the Old South.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
it's a
I was
crazy
going to say,
looking movie.
just for any listener who hasn't seen the film, you kind of said it, but the look of the film is that it is trying to replicate sepia, basically,
Yeah.
but it still has actual color in it. It is
Mhm.
it is an odd, but like all of the trees are a beautiful golden hue. All of the water is still blue though. They'll be like at a river and there's this bright blue river. It's very, I don't know how else to describe it better.
I think it's a
almost
crazy
uncanny.
looking movie.
It is a
Uncanny. There
crazy
you
looking
go.
movie.
It really
is
is.
uncanny.
And that
And I want
that
to shout
is
out
its strength, obviously.
the other example that's pulled, or that I pull from around this time a few years later, of the movie that is going so deep into its color correction as to evoke a mood, a period, whatever, is Catherine Hardwicke's 13. And Holly Hunter, of course, is in both. So Holly
I don't know
Hunter
if
should
I've
be
seen
spoken.
that.
I think we talked about it on the podcast.
Great.
I have not.
Yeah.
No, we have
My
not.
memories.
We didn't?
13 is one of those movies that like I know I should see and I
Oh.
still haven't seen it.
It's interesting. You should see it. It was written by a child. And Holly Hunter
Thanks.
was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for it. But I'd never connected before that, like, Holly Hunter is
Maybe I'm having a
low-key
Ben
patron
moment and I
saint
have
of
seen
the
it.
early 2000s.
Let's
I'm
find
having
out.
fun in iMovie color correction canon.
I
Let me
loop
make
it
sure.
together with White Oleander for whatever. Did they come out in the same year?
No, I do
Or
too,
it's-
weirdly. I have
I
not
had dinner
were
next
out
to
at
the
the
author
same
of that book
time.
one time. Fun fact. Haven't seen
I
it.
have it marked as watched, but I have not logged it in the years of having letterboxed 13, which means we did not talk about it for the podcast.
I guess I did my own year of Holly Hunter a few years back now. And so that's why I watched it. I was doing my year of Holly Hunter.
I have a quick update.
Okay.
Daisy
Does
is
the president
smelling...
have COVID?
I
Sorry.
wish. Daisy
Should
was
you-
once again smelling the box.
Explain
yeah, you should tell
to the
tell
viewers.
everybody.
I brought home a son.
Yeah.
And
Just like Dracula.
he's locked in the bathroom currently because he's not allowed to meet his sister yet, Daisy. But we're going to have a slow integration. He's been locked in the bathroom. Haven't heard a peep. Hope he's okay.
Do you want to go check on him?
No. And
Do you wanna
yeah,
talk-
Daisy's dumb. My cat doesn't know that there's another cat
We love her for
in the
that.
apartment.
She's coming to the realization.
She's the Delmar of the group.
She's Delmar.
She is giving Delmar. She definitely gives Delmar. And I think Casser's going to be the Ulysses of the house. My
Ooh,
hair.
That
My
makes
hair.
you my hair. My hair.
My hair.
My hair.
My hair.
I love his pomade.
God, it's funny.
Fantastic.
He-
When the cans of pomade
Are
Mhm.
floating through the flood.
I think isn't the
Don't want
transition
fuck, God damn it. I'm a Dapper Dan man.
aren't they like floating through black and then it transitions to
Maybe.
them like in the water and then when they
In the
bubble
water.
up there's some
Mhm.
interesting transition happening with the tins of pomade that I really enjoyed.
Gorgeous. Yes.
Dapper Dan.
It really
He's
is just a
Dapper Dan
gorgeous
man.
movie. I really I'm fading, so I have nothing more to say.
Literally, the only other thing I wanted to talk about the crack ups was I have it here in my notes. My hair. So
My hair. That is the number one crack up of the film. I mean,
I like
it
when
is-
I'm cracking up.
I was cracking up.
Babyface Nelson is robbing the bank, and Delmar's like, he's a real live wire.
Oh, George, not the livestock.
There's another one. There is a repeated line. Oh gosh, I wish I wrote it down.
We're in a tight spot.
That's it.
We're in a
That's
tight
it. He says
the
it.
funniest-
It's a multiple refrain. We're in a tight spot.
The funniest we're in a
Dracula.
tight spot is just like Dracula. He keeps coming back. I think the last time he says we're in a tight spot, we are no longer with the boys at the top of the barn. We are outside with the cops who are like smoking them out, and you just hear off screen, "We're in a tight spot."
That's gold.
That
That's
is
I
gold,
very-
love an
the
off-screen.
Coen Brothers at the
line
height
reading.
of their power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember thinking this movie was a fun lark that I mostly remember because my dad knows every word of it and loved the soundtrack growing up. I was surprised upon rewatch that, to Brandon, I also thought of Hail Caesar, that this is a farce that is concealing like a much darker and deeper set of ideas about the country that we live in. And I haven't updated my ranking, but it will be jumping up.
It's jumped up, baby.
Yeah, to me it was always just
jumped,
like
it's
major
right above,
phenomenon, but
it's
I
right
thought it was a
above
major work.
Walter Scruggs. What's that movie called?
Buster Scruggs.
Buster
Walter
Scruggs.
Scruggs.
Walter Scruggs, which I recently found out most people don't like.
Correct. Most
Yeah.
people
I love that.
find
I
it a
remember-
minor work. I think it's a major Coen.
I think it
think
is
I
an
gave it-
excellent film.
I think I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd, and I'm pretty sure it's like number 6 on my Coen's ranking.
I think it is an excellent film.
Mine's
I
really
think
high
another
up. My
Winchester
brother
73.
just jumped it.
Tim Blake
It's a great
Nelson as
movie.
the titular Buster Scruggs is my supporting actor winner of that year.
Yes, that was the
Fantastic,
year. That was
fantastic
the year
choice.
that on the old version of this podcast, I believe we were ranking and sharing our nominations. I remember we had a Buster Scruggs
We
episode.
did a Buster
I'm
Scruggs
almost
episode.
certain.
Yeah.
I remember everyone was disliking it, and the three of us saw it separately, but at the same time. And we returned to phone, and we're like, "Oh wow, this was amazing! We're
It's
the only
actually
people
really
who
good.
get this movie."
The
I remember
episodic
where I
nature-
was. Yeah, go ahead.
During that
I remember where I was.
text?
I remember where I was when I watched it, which I
I don't think
that's
I'm
not true for every movie
I
that
probably
I saw
saw
10
it at the
years ago.
Landmark. I'm sure I saw it at the Landmark with the old
It
people.
was
I always
day
think
and
of you,
date
Brandon,
on
when I think of the Landmark.
Netflix because
Oh,
I
I
remember.
Yes, it was
Netflixed
day and
it.
date.
I Netflixed it
I
then.
remember I got
So did
home
I.
and was like, I can just watch it again, and I did. I think.
I think you did too. That
I think it
sounds
was one of
familiar.
those that we were like, all three of us were pretty lit up about it.
Absolutely,
Yeah, it's a great
lit
film,
up.
and I watched it again during COVID, and I still think it's a great film.
That was another movie where people were like, "Ugh, he's so mean to his characters. They have such a cynical view."
And?
That's my interpretation of Richard Lawson's review. I remember specifically
Fantastic.
had
Clip
a lot
it.
to say about Richard Lawson's review.
But I also thought of Walter Scruggs while watching
Yeah.
Oh Brother. Just
For sure.
how, because the last chapter of Walter Scruggs, I'm just going to keep calling it that, they're on the carriage to death.
Mhm.
Just like
and
Orpheus.
What was it all for?
What was it all for? So yeah, there's that the mythologizing in both.
Mhm.
And that's
bit.
true about
Sweating.
the Odyssey. Yeah, I guess I think I said
Girl,
this
that's
already,
the
but,
Odyssey.
but the fact that the movie isn't actually that faithful an adaptation of the myth is kind of the point, I think.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I agree. I think it's better for it. It couldn't be a faithful adaptation taking place in the Deep South. Like, it fundamentally cannot.
I'd watch a more faithful adaptation, but I'd prefer to have this because
Yeah,
when you're
I'd
setting a
prefer to
movie
have
about myths
Dapper
in the Old
Dan
South, yeah,
to
I don't want the fop version of this.
We don't want the FOP version. We want the Dapper Dan version, and that's
By the
what
way,
we got.
we got so we can move on. We got Joel McCrea and Veronica Lake in Sullivan's Travels because that's of course where "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" the title comes from.
That's right.
I was actually wondering that. I was like, they never found the brother.
The fictional film. Mark asked me that this morning when I was starting it. He was like,
Where is
well,
the brother?
He said, well,
Where's the brother? That should have been my log.
he
where
was
is he?
leaving as I was starting. He said, well, I hope they find him.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they
It's
find it
Matt
leaves.
Damon. They find Matt Damon because he's
Yeah,
always
exactly.
He's always somewhere he's not supposed to be,
Yeah,
and people are
always
looking
going
for
home.
him. Where's Matt
True.
Damon?
True.
Movie doesn't have enough Holly Hunter. That's my big note.
It's true.
Not enough
that's 'cause
Holly
she's-
Hunter.
She's stuck tethered to the 6 children.
It's true, and she's very
she's
funny.
counting
She's
to
very
3.
funny in the movie, but
She's busy
I-
counting to 3. And she's
She's always. I counted.
he's bona
counted.
fide.
he's bona fide.
He's a suitor.
Oh my God,
the-
he's bona fide.
I'm the goddamn paterfamilias.
paterfamilias.
We know this story about how, because Clooney is from Kentucky, he asked his uncle to record the entire dialogue for the script. He talks about this in his film comment interview and has talked about it over the years. He sent the script to his uncle in Kentucky and asked him to record it all into a tape recorder so he could get the accent right. And he only learned during production when the Coens went up to him and were like, we love how you've taken all the profanity out of this. His uncle wouldn't say goddamn or hell. Which is
really
why
funny.
there's all these hecks and variations to avoid the swears. It's because his uncle refused to say it, and George just thought he was reading the lines, which is a really great story.
Funny.
Yeah,
that makes it even better.
Yeah, I did one time sneak into a Ralph Stanley concert when I was young. That's who sings "Oh Death" on the soundtrack. Pretty metal. Going to sneak into a Ralph Stanley show.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that was the last thing I wanted to say.
Take us
home.
home.
I'm in charge. Sorry, I'm in charge. Okay,
you're in charge.
So, last thing everybody watched. I'm gonna make this quick. Last thing I watched was Olivia Wilde's The Invite, the greatest work of artistic resurrection since Dracula, but also since John Boorman's Excalibur. I think Penelope Cruz should be winning the Academy Award for explaining perimenopause while squishing olives in her fingers.
I agree.
Wonderful.
I thought the movie was great. Okay, next, Ben. What was the last thing you watched?
The last thing I watched was Out of Africa at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures in the David Geffen Theater on 35mm. Wonderful film, but what I really want to talk about is that the night before, I saw Danny DeVito's directorial debut, Throw Mama from the Train, at the New Beverly Cinema, also on 35mm, and it was a double feature with Ruthless People, which I left because I threw my back out earlier in the day, and if I had been cracking up the way I was in Throw Mama from the Train, I would have stuck it out. But I was like, I'm going to go lay down. But what I really wanted to put on the mic for the record is that about 4 minutes before Throw Mama from the Train started, I'm pretty sure a gay guy not too far from me asked the gay guy he was with, so what are we?
Did you hear the response?
I didn't, but I just heard the question.
So good.
Because the film's about to start.
Because the film began. Throw Mama from the Train. We were throwing Mama from the train.
He was throwing that relationship from the train.
Yeah.
So funny to me.
Honestly, impeccable comic timing from the gay.
No, absolutely.
I hope it was just a bit, but I wonder if it was not. Maybe he just had to say it.
Did you? Oh, because you left early so you don't get to see them after.
No. I saw them in intermission, though. They seemed fine.
Spirits were high.
Normal. I don't know. There was nothing awkward.
Is there a performance in Throw Mama from the Train that was nominated for an Oscar?
I didn't look. I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
I was really cracking up. It's not a very good movie, but I was cracking up.
Can anyone who was at the Danny DeVito double of New Beverly please leave us a review and say, were you the gay couple?
And if you
what are you? Are the gays? Yes. What are you? Did I hear you correctly? And what are you if I did?
Was it a bit?
Anne Ramsey, who plays the titular Mama, was nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
She is
unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
She is excellent in the film.
I knew this was like a Odyssey, Oh Brother-esque adaptation of Strangers on a Train, and I forgot. So I'm going to watch
like
that.
4 minutes into the movie, she hollers at Danny DeVito, like, get your lard ass out here.
Fantastic.
The first act I thought was stunning. And then when we get to, they need to start doing plot machinations.
When they have to throw Mama from the train.
I was a little like, okay, they could do this a little bit more smartly. It becomes like the Roger Ebert shoot idiot plot. Like everyone is this is only continuing because everyone is making the dumb choice. Sure. But it's very funny. The jokes are really good.
I remember
and the
I watched
visuals
it as
are
a kid.
quite stylish.
We had it on VHS.
Yeah, I went to this because my parents loved Ruthless People and I had never seen it. I wasn't cracking up quite as much in the 45 minutes of that I saw.
Cracking up every time somebody says crack up.
Cracking up.
It's just funny to hear.
We're cracking up.
Brandon, what was the last thing you watched?
I was cracking up at the last thing I watched, but it was not intentional crack-ups. This was a horror movie that was atrocious. No one here gives a shit about this movie, but it was the January 2026 release of,
Excuse me.
bless you,
Excuse me.
Return to Silent Hill,
Mm.
which is an adaptation of Silent Hill 2, the video game, which famously
Great.
has like a very like deep and meaningful story, and just made this movie makes every decision to thwart that. And it's also
Sure.
a real crack up, unintentional crack up.
Well, I'm glad you cracked up.
I
I
cracked up.
never saw the original picture. I never played the game, but I
Me
am
neither.
curious
So this
too. I
means
understand
nothing.
it's quite. No, it does because I want to see it. I understand it's quite
Listeners
scary.
might have a lot to say about it.
The first Silent Hill, I think, is good, even though it's terrible. Ebert famously
it has
gave
a
it 1
cult-
star.
It has
The
a cult
second
following.
one, it does. The second
Yeah.
one is abjectly bad. This one, Return, is from the same director as the first one. So that's why people were like, well, let's take a look. You can tell he loves the material. There is a love of the material there, but it's just a piece of shit. It looks tacky. It's really, and
You can't polish a turd.
your boy Jeremy Irvine, is that his name? From
Warhorse.
Warhorse,
More horse.
plays the lead, and he's atrocious.
Didn't even know he was still working.
Didn't he star in
He-
Stonewall?
That's why he's in
He
Return
did
to
star in
Silent
Stonewall.
Hill.
Right.
That's why he. Oh,
He returned.
He
these
was
are
in
the
Roland
reasons.
Emmerich's
just like Dracula.
Stonewall.
These are the reasons he needed this paycheck for Return to Silent Hill.
I'm thinking about how it takes us 40 minutes to wrap up this podcast and how that's like an Italian family gathering. I remember as a child, Vicky would always be like, it's time to start saying goodbye, which means we've got 45 to 90 minutes of
That's right.
walking
Of saying
around,
goodbye.
This is
saying
also
goodbye to each individual person.
This is
Yes.
also true about families from the American South, as mine is. When I was at my cousin's wedding a number of years ago, and we were on like minute 70 of goodbyes, my brother's boyfriend was just like, I'll be out front.
Yeah.
I've already.
Mhm.
I'm
I'm from
extraditing myself from these
I'm
goodbyes.
from Chicago, and we said goodbye an hour and 10 minutes ago.
That's right.
I love the extended goodbye.
No, I hate it.
I hate it
love
too.
it.
I've
It's not-
extradited
love it.
myself from it.
I was
I don't
one-
participate.
I was always the one that was like, okay, I'm saying goodbye to my grandparents, and then I'll meet you in the car.
At
You can
like
say
same
goodbye to
thing.
the air
like
conditioning
birthday,
on.
people.
birthday parties. If like
Mhm.
I'm saying goodbye to, or weddings, like I'm saying goodbye to the bride and groom, and then I'm
Yeah.
escaping.
Yep.
Weddings and work functions, I do try and just slip out the back. But when I'm with
Because you're
family
not the
members I
focus.
like and friends that I like, no, exactly. That's why I can do it, because no one cares if I live or die. And I mean, I've left weddings without saying goodbye to the people getting married, because I don't
Yeah,
want to
if it's a big
I'm-
enough wedding.
Yeah,
they're
like
busy.
I'm.
They won't
they're
remember
on,
you said
they're
goodbye.
they're on the
Right.
dance floor as if it matters that I'm
Right.
leaving.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
going to go up and tap them on the shoulder.
You just got married.
Yeah.
You're a guest.
I'm so not important here. Okay, so in the spirit of wrapping this up, then, Ben, what are we doing next week?
We're doing
what are we doing?
something.
I'm still confused.
Something
I'm
of a
confused too.
draft.
We're gonna figure it out on the mic.
No, we're not. I'm gonna put rules together. Don't worry.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I
Ooh, I
will
love
be
a game with rules.
I will be putting together a briefing. I haven't decided exactly how the rules will work. There are the options sort of in the air are like it will just be awards focused, and everyone can draft movies from the entire year, or
Whether we've seen it or not.
or it'll be fall like theatrical guesses where we have to be thinking so it can only be movies that have not come out yet, or am I doing some sort of combination of the two, and then I'll figure
Fun.
out like some sort of point system if we're doing awards so we
Mhm.
can track it once we hit January, and like maybe critics awards, the guild awards will have a certain value, the Oscars will have a certain value.
We're
I think
going
that is the-
Tiresias mode. We are going to
Yes.
try and foretell the future of
Mhm.
the year in film 2026. What will be the biggest?
I deem this
and by
fun.
the way, I'm saying this as to sum it up because I need Ben to tell me if I am understanding what we're doing.
Mhm.
We are trying to predict what are the movies that will be the most talked about, the most awarded, make the most money,
Mhm.
become the cultural objects in cinema that define the year 2026.
But
And we're doing this in
I'm
August.
thinking
so
it will be
Olivia Wilde's The
one-
Invite.
No,
It
I'm
will basically
gonna get that.
be just one of those categories, though.
I think we should
And
do
We'll
multiple
decide.
categories.
You see, I don't know
We'll figure
how
it
to
out.
do it with the multiple categories, the way that I'm thinking of it.
I figure we can like
Multiple
Well,
brackets.
I figure we can sort of like have a dialogue not on mic, or maybe this is something. Actually, here's an idea: segment pitch. We can be checking in on this every couple of weeks or so on the podcast as we're moving down the year. We could like if someone wanted to mount an argument as to why Minions versus Monsters should get some sort of credit or points. You know, someone can say, "Oh, well, it didn't actually make that much money, and mostly was."
We
generating
have to
discussion
have
in
the
cinephile
rules in
circles."
place before we draw teams.
Teams.
Well, there's
That's-
teams,
That's
baby.
that's
what
just
the
going on our
draft
teams.
is.
Yeah. Well, look, the last
This
time
is
I was
getting
involved,
to sports.
the last time I was involved in a fantasy draft, I ended up being number one in my league, which
Well, there
I
you
currently am. I'm like
Oh,
dropping
you're
hints that I'm number
winning.
one in my fantasy.
So, like,
WNBA
Brandon,
league.
if let's just say we are looking at, we are all going to, we're going to just go for who's going to win the most awards. Then we will take turns drafting movies for our team. Let's say I
But
go
what
first.
if we all pick the same? What if we all
You-
pick Odyssey?
no, but
we
we won't
don't.
because the way that a
we
draft
will
works.
take an order. We will pick an order of how we go. Let's say I go first and I say I pick the Odyssey. And then Brandon
Yeah.
goes second and then he cannot pick the Odyssey.
I just got
You-
screwed.
And then Brandon picks, I don't know, Project Hail Mary. And then Daniel picks
I don't know,
Dune
picking
3.
Nadav
The
Lapid's Yes,
The
which
Invite.
is
Yes,
probably going
exactly.
to sweep
The
by
Invite.
awards time. Yeah, the invite.
Okay, I understand
Excited about
now.
Dune 3. When it's time for Dune 3, we should maybe consider having a lean diet for the week. If you know what I'm saying. Watch Lawrence of Arabia and Dr. Zhivago.
Sure.
This
Sure.
is an off
We
mic
could have
combo.
we could have a lean diet.
It's a year of the Hollywood epic return this year.
Yes. I'm here for it. Wait, what I missed that last part. The year of the Hollywood epic that what?
Returned.
Oh, just like Dracula.